Okay, are we good? Hello? I think we're good. Okay. Yeah. Hello. We're back. I would have probably streamed at the weekend. However, I believe the cause of issue of that was, both days I would have potentially streamed it. I have D&D on, so was not able to. So, yeah, no, we get to do that, I guess. Let me open up Google Maps again. Alright, we gotta go through, what's it called? Lower Manhattan. Yes. Gotta go back to Midtown. Alright, there we go. So I'll do a walk around first. But anyway, let's get through it. That's the wrong screen. That is the right screen. Let me bring up photos. There we go. That's more like it. And let's get on the old webcam while we're at it. Yeah, so we're back. If I recall, I think this is this is day 6 technically. Well, I guess if we're counting, if I don't count, I guess if we counted from the Thursday as day 1, that would be it. But I counted me getting there as day 1. So this is technically day. I guess we'll just do it out of 8 then. So this is day 6 out of 8. We're almost there. We're almost done the recap. I don't think we're finishing everything this day. If we can, fantastic. But actually, now that I think about it, we might get through this one not too fast. How many photos are in this one? 823. Okay, and how many is in day 7? 651. Okay, it's not too bad. How about... I forgot about New Jersey. Forgot about the 1,700 photos I took on the fucking battleship. Yeah. Anyways, so let's talk about this thing. So I might show off what we did on the day. If I bring up Chrome. All right, so hide the photo real quick. So the day started normal. You know, we got up. We didn't eat anything right away. We kind of just. I think we got up around 9 or 10 that day. I want to say. So we did our usual trek, going out here, walk down this way. Actually, I believe some of us went. I think maybe 1 or 2 of us went next door and got something in here. So it was like me, Aqua. I think Rill and Peach was meeting us over there at some point. We were just gonna head over first. So it was me, Aqua, Virus, Ultra, Lone, and Tails. So we headed off. We're like, all right, we're gonna do that. But this because the position of where the World Trade Center is, which I had to hold back the urge of like some of the stuff, but with the naming of stream today. But I settled on something. But as with today. So when we were going to it, they said it'd be easier if we just took a subway rather than like, you know, walking an hour. Who would ever just walk the full hour and 10 minutes to the World Trade Center and back? Who'd do that? Who's crazy enough to do that? Who knows? So anyway, we started walking towards the subway. So as you can see here, so we got a good shot of the Flatiron Building. This one is actually relatively okay. Wow, it's been under renovation for over a year. That's September 2024, and it's still like this. Yeah, I actually found out why it was like that night. The night I was walking back. But yeah. So we went this way. Oh, that's where that Eat Italy place is. I should have tried that. But yeah, so we went down the subway. It was pretty straightforward. And then what we did is we took, if I go back out of this mode. So we took the subway from 5th Ave. waited down there, and went all the way until we got to about here. I want to say. I want to say this is it. Is this the right place? No, that's not. That's the memorial. So we got to about. Well, realistically, I would say like. Where's the tower? Okay, so I'll put it like I think where's that? Wait, hang on. This is the spot here. Yeah, there it is. So what we did is we ended up inside this building, I want to say. So, all right. So with that being said, I'll switch to the photos so then we can go. So obviously here's the Flatiron Building, and then we went down to the subway. I'd take a shot. Lovely smell in the subway, gotta say. I mean, I expected worse. I didn't end up seeing a rat in New York, surprisingly enough. I did see pigeons and I did see squirrels, so you could technically call them rats. So we're just taking photos. I think that was Ultra taking a photo of just the other end. I think after that, yeah, took a photo of a train passing by, and then a quick video. I was hoping to try and see if I can get another one. I was laughing at this bottle of water because it's just called Poland Spring, and it's just Maine spring water. I guess there's just a place called Poland in Maine, I suppose. Uh, New York looks pretty gray right now. Oh yeah. So as I was saying, Flatiron Building. Also, hello Irish. So Flatiron Building was here. So we went down this way, into the subway as I was showing on the thing. Went down to the subway, kind of expecting like kind of a weird smell. Got somewhat wooden benches, like some really old like wooden benches for some reason in there. Actually, I'm curious. Can I go into the subway? Nah, we'll leave it. But yeah. So what ended up happening next is then we went through. We took photos here. Took a photo of like a train passing by. Taking a photo of this. It's like, all right, cool. After that, I was laughing about this Poland spring water because it's like, is there just a place in Maine just called? People joke about like, oh yeah, there's just a place in fucking Maine just called Poland. That's so stupid. I'm just thinking of the fucking. Wait a sec. The fucking Five Corners. Hang on. Is it? Half the place in Canada just English towns again. No creativity in the new world, is there? No creativity whatsoever. Let's see. I moved halfway around the world, just used the same names. Like, yes, I need a fresh start. Gets to fucking thing. It's like, oh, never mind. The Five Corner. What is this? Why do they call this the Five Corners? Anyways, so yeah, so fucking Poland Spring made me laugh. We're sitting in the subway, just chilling. Then we get out into this massive this massive complex that was like really. I honestly was kind of too nice. I was like, isn't the subway supposed to be like grimy and stuff? This is very clean, very nice, very bougie. Then again, I remembered we're in like the trade district of New York. We're in like Walls. We're pretty much in Wall Street, so everything's gonna be expensive. That's why when I was getting food later, I didn't bother getting food anywhere in this entire portion of New York, cause like I ain't like dude in his early 20s with a full like Gucci or fucking Hugo Boss suit with AirPods in type of money. I ain't got that kind of money. I ain't spending that type of money for lunch. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I ain't in that tax bracket. Also, the escalators in fucking New York are so slow. God, they're so slow. So I think 90% of the time I just use the stairs. Like elevators, the elevators are fucking fast. Elevators are extremely fast in New York. But the fucking escalators, slow as shit. Did not bother with them. I just walked. Like the others were just surprised that I kept taking the stairs all the time. It was really funny. I'm like, I'm just gonna take the stairs every single time I took the stairs, and because of that, yeah, they thought, oh, I'll be tired. No, no, I honestly felt better for my legs doing this. There was times where my legs were feeling tired, then walking up the steps actually relieved the tension a bit. So it was actually really funny. This place was weird. Like they had an elevator, but it only went one way. But yeah, no, it was called like the Oculus or something like that. It was a weirdly to say building. I felt like a lot of New York is just architects seeing what they can get away with and just saying fuck it, let's go. Yeah. There's just a dude playing piano. He was on that for like 5-10 minutes. But yeah, it's kind of weird how much of an open space it is, but that makes sense. Like down that way is a train system that goes straight to New Jersey. It goes straight to like New Jersey, which I didn't end up using because I got picked up by Aqua. But yeah, after that, walked up and I saw this, and I said to a friend saying soon. So then we walked up into this side building. So if you remember a second ago, I was walking into this building here. I was looking around. I was like pointing. We were trying to look around. It's like where we're at. To which I pointed to Virus. I'm like, hey, I see something. I think I found something, guys. Just an inkling. And I was like, it's right behind me, isn't it? And I just like, Virus thought I was pointing to the memorial at first. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm pointing to. I'm pointing to fucking that. I'm pointing to that thing. I just love this. Like, it's right behind me, isn't it? I also got some good shots of the World Trade Center. Not gonna lie. Like, this is a good photo. This is a nice photo. I really need to do a dump of like all the stuff. I forgot to set to streamer mode, of course. I knew I forgot something. But yeah, what was I saying? So I got the World Trade Center here. I think the next one's a video I did. I can't remember. No, sorry, no. After yeah, no, actually it is. It's it's right behind me, isn't it? Just like it's the fucking looking behind me, just there staring at the fucking World Trade Center. Yeah, I had to do the bit. After that, I was taking some photos of this. I think Ultra kept calling this the rumbling from fucking Attack on Titan. He kept calling it the Eren Yeager building. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I understood what he meant. I just thought it was really fucking stupid. It's calling it the. Also, this fucking sign, most pointless ass fucking sign. Oh yeah, East Italy is Italy. Distance to that place 437 feet. Okay, cool. Distance to Italy 3,962 miles. Yeah, cool. Thanks, building. I totally wanted to know that. Um, yeah. So after that, we walked over um down the street, saw some more buildings and stuff like that. Look at this dude with the raised eyebrow. Why does he kind of look like Gordon Freeman? Holy shit, it's him. The way it's kind of blurred in, it kind of looks like Gordon Freeman. Yeah, then I took some shot here. There's Mercer Labs. I think it's the Museum of Art. It's the Art and Technology Museum. Welcome to the World Trade Center. I did some they had some stuff here. Lewd behavior. I don't know why littering, spitting, or lewd behavior is in the same category. But yeah, after that, I saw this billboard. Well, it's not billboard, but like a wall graffiti and stuff like that. There was a bunch of graffiti in New York that I feel like Joe would have loved to have seen. Like there was some genuinely like really nice like wall art and other stuff like that. It was funny thinking of like Joe in certain spots for like how cool things are, you know? Oh yeah, here's a shot of what the building kind of looks like on the exit side. If you see what I mean, like it's a really weird entrance, but it's absolutely massive. It's honestly pretty cool. And then I think the next photo is probably one of my favorites I took. I had the same thought about. Mm-hmm. And then after this shot, it might be the next photo or it might be the photo after. But is my no no yeah no it is the next photo. The next photo here is probably one of my favorites I took this entire trip. I love this photo. I love how it like captures like the entrance to the subway while also capturing the World Trade Center with the clouds reflecting off the top. Like it's just this chef's kiss. Such a good shot. I love this photo. It's such a good photo. Also, it's still funny to think about the resolution for these photos. 3060 by 4080. It's kind of nuts. Yet it can't play 4. Yet if I try to watch any 4K video, it does not work. Like how does that make sense? I can record 4K video, but I can't view 4K video. How does that make sense? You know, how does that make sense? There are times I watch 4K video on my phone, or like if something happens to be 4K and it'll just go black screen. It's like okay, cool. It's not embedding, I guess. Cool. Works on desktop. Works on other stuff. All right. Cool. I guess. But yeah. I think after that we walked towards Mercer Labs. So if I was to bring up the map again, so we walked around this way. So on the other side of here. So yeah, we walked this way, past this, walked over this way. That's where Mercer Labs is, and I believe after that we walked down this street. I want to say. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, because there's a thing there. So if I was to go check. Yeah, there it is. There's this building. I don't know what is this building exactly. I never checked. St. Paul's Chapel. Colonial era Episcopal Church with 9/11 exhibit and pew with where George Washington worshipped. Okay, cool. That gives me an idea. It's on Broadway Street, or Broadway Avenue, I suppose. But yeah, okay, that's that neat. With that being said, so we went through there. Here's some more photos of it. I honestly lucked out with how pretty the weather was. But like both weather and like just the sunlight was like perfectly shining a lot of stuff like that. Oh yeah, after that we went to fucking Shake Shack. I think we walked down this no. Sorry, no. We would cross the street here. Cause in here is like a weird building. Yeah, the Fulton Center. So the Fulton Center is weird, as you can see. Oh, sorry. The Fulton Center, I guess, is part of the subway as well from the other place too. Yeah, this is what it looks like down here. It was not this busy when we were in though. But yeah, so we went in the Fulton Center. We got some Shake Shack. That's my second time getting Shake Shack. The first time I got it was in San Diego, and I got chicken. This time I got a burger. But yeah, this is what I mean. Like he's like pretty weird. Also, the elevator also is like one way. It was funny. While we're getting our food brought up, Ultra was just had his AirPods in, just watching anime on his phone, and like one of the staff was like, "Hey man, what you got? What you watching? What you interested in?" Is he like the fellow like just asking him that, and he recognized it anyway. It's one of those things where like, oh yeah, I know what that's on about, but I'm gonna ask you anyway, so I don't have to out myself. You know, it's one of those things. It was very funny. Oh yeah. So here's the thing about this. So I got my burger, got my stuff right. I ordered I ordered fucking regular fries. Hello, I brought my headphones. Can you check? But Irish, what was I gonna say? Uh, so when I was ordering food, I ordered the regular fries, but something bugged out and it got me the spicy fries instead. So when I bit into one of them, it was more spice than fry. So I was fucking choking. Half my Coke was gone by the end of it. I was like, oh my god. Like it kind of reminded me when I went to Crack Shack in San Diego, where the fries were good, but the amount of spice, like you know what I mean. It's just the spice would be fine if it wasn't more spice. If it was just could I get some fries with that spice? You know what I mean? Like I think even like Aqua offered just to take it off me and take the regular fries from him. So I did that and I ate through all of them. But then like Virus got the spicy fries, I think, and Aqua both like Aqua's that give me like LMAO is funny, but even he was struggling with these. He was struggling like once again. You know when you get like a ball of spice in a bag of crisps? Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that type of thing. You're just eating pure seasoning rather than actual stuff. Hang on, was I checking something right here? Give me a second. Uh, it's Chrome. Oh, yeah, I forgot I made a Chrome tab in here. Give me 2 seconds. I need to fix something. Anyway, back to this. So yeah, so I ate. We went through all this. Um, After that, we left the building. I think we went back the way we came. So we got like another shot from like this angle. I think yeah. So if you remember earlier, we were behind. We were walking. So we walked back this way from. So from the Fulton Center, we walked back towards the World Trade Center. Um, just need to find the big buildings. Okay, there they are. Yes, we just walked back. I think this way. We walked back this way until we got to the World Trade Center. Sorry, no. Oh, I clicked the wrong way. This way. Sorry. We walked down this street until we got back to the like where this is at. When we crossed over the street, we took some photos as we went by. After that, we I think we headed towards the memorial. I want to say. Yeah, we did. Okay. So then there was this that is talking about the memorial and museum. We haven't gone into the memorial yet because we booked our time for about I think 2 o'clock. So it was 2 o'clock we booked our time for it. So what end up doing then is so we had to kill time for an hour. So I went. This is where this is one of the. I think this is the. Yeah, as I was saying there. This is the North Tower pool. Very somber. They had a real maintaining the whole quiet, like kind of like a like, kind of like a quiet, like whispering, kind of like not non-disturbing type of atmosphere there. It was very somber, like around here. All different names of people that died in the attacks. And just to let you know, no, I didn't do anything. Like I was very respectful here. Like nothing happened. I took this like it's all fun. It's all jokes. Haha, he's gonna do something. No, no, I was very respectful at this place. I was very respectful at this place. I may joke about stuff, but I don't joke in person about stuff like this. This is pretty serious. And I know Ari was like, "Oh, yeah, go Aura Farm." I was like, "No." And if I did, they'd have to go so far. So after that, we went to the World Trade Center. So there's like the new one. So I was like, "Oh, yes, it's not that big, is it?" And I just like, "Oh, yeah." This is another one of those like I got that camera earlier. Not the cameras, the subway from when on the Sunday night, right? I took that like one shot that looked like it went on forever down the subway. I did the same thing here with the World Trade Center, where it looks like it goes on for fucking ever due to perspective. Absolutely massive unit of a building. So then we went inside. So here's the funny thing about this security thing. So after you get past the security, it does it it shows it shows something like it shows like where like some of the ticket holders are from. So you go from so we walk through and they're like, "Hey Opti, they said you're from Ireland." I'm like, "What?" And if you remember correctly, I made like when I was there, there was there was a set of 3 messages uh that were like a story in a few words, right? If you remember from that day. So if I turn off, like, what was this? It's like, soon something happened here, and then the World Trade Center docks me. That's what the context for that fucking thing was. So yeah, the World Trade Center just straight up just says where like some of the ticket holders are from. So it just said Ireland for me, and it just like, oh, okay, cool. I got doxxed by the World Trade Center. You love to see it. Yeah. So this is what I mean. Like it just shows like where some ticket holders are from. Fucking doxed me. Doxed were in not like, oh hey, you're from Ireland. No, no, it said the fucking like part of Ireland too. I'm like, cool, thanks, World Trade Center. Very cool. You know, didn't expect to be doxxed by the World Trade Center, you know? Then after that, it just said how what like the general visitors from different countries were in general afterwards. So I went in through here, took like some photos as we went up. Then we went through. Oh yeah, this is when we started in the elevator. Give it a minute. Ah, here comes the ear popping. By the way.
Oh, I should be fine.
Give it a minute. Ah.
Yeah. My ears are still fine.
Give it a second.
Yo.
Ah, there it is.
See, this is what happens when you're born in the 40s.
1950.
By the way, this fucking elevator was so fast. It went like 37 miles an hour. We went up.
This is about what I'm used to.
Like, look how
This is kind of cool.
look how fucking fast it's going up in terms of feet.
What's happening? Up. Up.
I don't like the animation.
Welcome to One World Observatory.
I don't feel so
Thank
good,
you.
Mr. Stark. Now my ears pop.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So my like as I was saying in that video, you could tell the time when my fucking ears popped. Yeah, it was like right here. That's when my fucking ears popped because God, that I was mentioning to some of the people in the I was mentioning to like Tails and the others at the time because like because some of them didn't go up the the strat with when we were doing the bungee thing, right? They were there, but they didn't go up with us, right? So in my case, I did, and when I went up that elevator, my ears popped because it was I think the strat's 1,100 feet up in the sky or something like that, roughly. So I went up there, ears popped. I was like, ah, my ears. And I was telling him about this before we went up here. I was giving him a warning in advance, and it happened. And I was like, see, I told you. I told you what would happen. And this is
See forever.
this is like a video thing where it's like going over like surrounding of like the World Trade Center, right? It's like a big video thing, and like at the end of it, it just like does a big reveal showing off the distance. Will say, great view of the whole city afterwards. And then I started walking around. This isn't the observation deck. This is the not the 86. This is the 104th floor. I want to say with the observation deck we were at is the 106th. I want to be certain. Hang on, let me check. Yeah, roughly about that. Yeah, about the 104th floor. So anyway, yes, we went through, took some photos. This isn't the proper floor. This is like just the first like initial one. There's the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know if that's the Williamsburg Bridge or it's a different one, but sorry, that's the Manhattan Bridge. Williamsburg Bridge is the one down the way. Was it the Williamsburg Bridge that got destroyed in the Godzilla movie, the 1998 one? Was it 98 or 97? Hang on. 1998. Okay. Yeah, it was. Right. With that, go through that. We'll get through this. It was just some like little pieces about charting and other stuff like that. It's kind of weird. Bad place. They did have like drinks and other stuff like that up here. Like there was a whole cafe. I'm not gonna lie about you. I don't think I would want to drink or eat up in like a giant observation deck on the top of like, a massive skyscraper. Especially since you're going through the decompression of your ears popping. You know, I don't know about you, but I feel terrible if I eat on a plane. And going up and having to the point where your ears pop and this stuff is definitely going to affect you a bit. It's still funny to think Ultra said, oh, I've never had my ears pop before. It's like, that's crazy. I've had it happen to me like for years. Also, hey Astra, how you doing? Oh, speaking of frick, there's a thing I need to show later that is very funny. So yeah, we went up this. So over here, actually a little thing that was telling me what buildings were. So this here, I feel like the top of a tower in the trade district is a peak captive audience. Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I was anxious as shit up here. I was terrified. Partially. Because when I was in the strat back in 2023 in the Mr. House's tower, when I was at the top floor, the ground didn't feel solid to me. The ground didn't feel solid in the World Trade Center. I felt like nervous as shit. Part of me was like, oh, this is awesome. This is cool. Get me the fuck out of here. Get me out of here right now. I don't want to be. So yeah, like there's. So what was really funny is this is just the Colgate clock. I don't know why Colgate, the fucking toothpaste company, has a clock next to Goldman Sachs. That's what that building is. That's Goldman Sachs. But yeah, I was taking some photos. If you don't like heights, yeah. So if you're curious, Astra, we were about. Let's see. Also, how are you doing today, Astra? Let's see. We were at about, let's see, 3 meters to feet. About 1,266 feet up. or 86 meters if you want metric. That's how high up. Full tummy Varipi, how's you? I'm good. Kind of refreshed, had a shower, just out doing good. Still trying to get through all my recap stuff because this is like this is the what is it? This is day 3. This is the 3rd recap stream, or is it 4? We're at 4 now. Hang on, let me check. Let me go check how many recap streams we're at this point. No, this is recap stream 3. Potentially could be another one. I'm not sure yet. Depending how we go. Say we took some shots. Over there's I think that's Ellis Island. Over there is the funny Statue of Liberty. Didn't get a chance to go. Always next time though. I would have went, but apparently like to get on the boat ride to it, you have to go through like airport fucking TSA security for some reason. You need to be like there 2 hours in advance. Like that was just a headache I did not want to deal with by myself. So we went around. This is about where we're at in the building. It just talked about how different stuff. But you know what I thought when I was up on this thing? I was like, how could like I'd be terrified working in a building this tall as like my day-to-day workflow. It's like, I'm just gonna go to work, guys. Hey, I left something downstairs. Can you go get an errand for me? Yeah, sure. Let me go down to the 54th floor and bring it back to you on the 98th floor or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just find that baffling. You know what I mean? I just like, yeah, I gotta go to work today. Here's my mandatory daily ear popping from going up too high. You know what I mean? That's what I was like when I was going through this. After that, what was the water efficiency thing? Yeah, that little thing here, it was like you could see like the street level. I just love how. Okay, I just realized something funny. I'm gonna send it to Virus, but it's like the I'm all ears meme from like fucking Zenless with Miyabi. The World Trade Center is what it's all ears. Because there's a character in Zenless who's 170 centimeters, but like their ears are like fucking 20 of those centimeters. So that's what I was thinking about when I was up in this part. But yeah, so floor 100 is 382 meters. Oh, sorry, no, we're up even higher. We're 1,281 feet up. I got it wrong. So wait, 9 meters is about fucking is about 30 feet. What? That's crazy. Imperial sucks. There's a photo of me in the background. All right, so let's start taking some photos of like just the general like surroundings. So over there's Jersey City. This is the west side of New York. Down that way is around where the Javits Center is, where the convention was at. I realize now after thinking about it that I could have gone to the UN building, but if I walked 5 minutes more past, like 5-10 minutes more past the Chrysler building, I could have gotten there. And I was like, damn, I almost was there. I was almost at the UN. And I got this photo. My ears can't pop, so I avoid big heights. Like, wait, your ears can't pop? What do you mean? Okay, that's a much better photo of like Ellis Island. Better idea of the Goldman Sachs stuff. I think I started just walking around getting some general photos of things to make it easier. Then there's the Brooklyn Bridge. There's the Manhattan Bridge. Where's the Chrysler building? Chrysler building's there. UN building's somewhere around that. That's it right there. That's the UN building right there. So I think you have Summit. So that's Summit 1. That's the Empire State. I think that's the Edge. My eardrum's damaged. That's why sounds are super loud to me. My ears don't pop, so I just get horrible pain. Ooh, that's terrible. So I'm assuming that you avoid planes as much as possible then? Look how tiny the cars are from up here. Feels like you're playing at like the Sim City or like one of the Sims games. Diving in deep water, yeah. So basically anything that involves depressurization, basically. But, getting some of the clear shots of like the ground level from this was honestly really nice. Not much I can really say. I can just look around and just taking photos. I think there's a point where okay, I think you find the Empire State and Chrysler Building. Yeah, it's right there. Chrysler Empire State. I want to thank you. Okay. Okay, I think yeah, okay. This is when I take like I should actually combine these photos. So I was taking what I was doing is I was taking a big photo and then just slightly moving to the side so we can get more of the city. So we go from here, Jersey City, that tower in the water is where the helicopter crashed like a few months ago. Wait, what? The tower. Wait, this? Wait, this tower here? Is that what you mean? Oh, wow. I'm just finding all the spot. Oh yeah, I'm finding all the spots where like shit happened rather recently. Like I found the spot Astra where John Lennon was shot, and I also found the spot where the United Healthcare guy was shot too. And then obviously I'm at the World Trade Center, so something happened there as well. Uh yeah, so I what I did is I took like a few shots. Like I honestly should combine these. I should combine this at some point. Make like one big photo of like stitched together. Yeah, remind me to do that later. I might do that. There's me staring at the UN building. It's like, what is the? I don't know what this district is, but like, the brickwork looks so weird. Where is this? Um, you know what I mean? It doesn't like the buildings look so weird from that. But yeah, I don't know where exactly that is. And then I took another photo looking downward, more from the side. So I think yeah, that's still yeah. Over there is the Williamsburg Bridge, and then right there is the Empire. No, the Midtown Manhattan, then Brooklyn. Then I think then this is more focused towards Wall Street. I think that's one of the Trump buildings or whatever. I think Wall Street is down there. Yeah, no, that I think that's Federal Hall. I want to say. Also, I did check. The Irish embassy does need appointments. So I could not just walk into the MetLife building and just stroll up to the 17th floor if I wanted. So that's shot down. That idea is shot down. Not doing that next year, I guess. Or next time, I suppose would be a better thing. Don't know if I'm going next year. I'd like to go next year. I'd like to go back. Hopefully things even out over then. Hey, God is here. How you doing? After this, take a few more shots. I think that is. Oh wait, where's that, Ellis? That's Governor's Island. Yeah, that's Governor. What is Governor's Island exactly? From 1794 to 1966, the U.S. Army was found on Governor's Island, which is now a national monument. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I zoomed into it on the map, and I just see Taco Vista. I guess I just love everything else is like Nolan Park, Fort J, Colonel's Row, Governor's Island National Memorial, Taco Vista. But it's expensive too. $10 $20. Actually, that's not too bad. $10 $20 isn't bad. It's probably some of the cheaper food in New York. What do they sell in the Ellis Island Cafe? Assuming not much. I just I'm assuming like there should be potato stuff there. I know it's pretty big, but it should be like some Irish food. Sell it on Ellis Island. Okay, that makes sense that there'd be a bridge from Ellis Island there. How come the Statue of Liberty doesn't have a bridge then? If I go to Statue of Liberty again, if I go to the Statue of Liberty at some point, I need to fucking just start playing the UNATCO theme. Hang on, let me get it real quick. The Deus Ex music. Where is it? My vision is augmented as I walk. Just walks around the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, there's Staten Island over there. There's actually that's the airport I came in on. That's Newark Airport. Okay, oh, that will remind me. When I was up in this building, I saw several planes taking off, flying around here, and I looked to like Lone and Virus. I'm like, bro, I do not want to see that in the fucking sky right now. I do not want to be seeing planes in the sky when I'm up here right now, man. I do not want to be seeing that shit. Yeah, do not want to be seeing that shit right now. Yeah, I'll go to the Liberty Island at some point. It is funny how much marshland there is over in New Jersey itself. Saw it a bunch when we were driving through it on the last day. Another photo there behind. There's a helicopter back there. I've probably one of those helicopter tours now that I think about it. There's the Colgate clock. Again. This is looking more downwards this way towards the sea. Can only imagine how much it costs to rent a dock near Wall Street, you know what I mean? How much does it cost? Let's see, how much to rent a boat dock in Wall Street? Renting a boat dock in vicinity of Wall Street is not feasible. At Wall Street, it's financial. Docking costs in New York are estimated between $65 to $230 per foot for the season. What? Per foot, like for the boat size? This is strange. God, I can't imagine. Yeah, no, if you have a boat, you can just go anywhere with it. It's such a weird spot for. It is neat seeing like gardens on top some of the buildings. I think when is it that I start looking around? I think it's after this spot. Yeah, I was looking down at one of the parks. Another photo there. Just to kind of give us an idea, like the map layout. This is where I started like walking around the place. Oh yeah, when I was up there, there was like some monks. There was like Tibetan monks up there. For some reason, like Aqua said, I didn't see him. He's probably thought it was like the fake one. I saw real monks here, and I saw fake monks You know, like the famous, like the infamous fake monks you see like in cities doing stuff like, right? So there was some fake monks like when I went near Battery Park up to the near the south end of the island. But after that, there was some actual real monks up there with us at the time. Wonder if I can't remember if I actually get them in any recordings or photos. But I was just decided to do like a walk around while up here. Just kind of like just like get a more like instead of like a photo, just get an actual recording thing for you guys back here. But yeah, no. As I was leaving the World Trade Center, like they were also there. They were leaving with us too. Ultra and Virus missed it because they went to the bathroom. Random event, I guess. I should add them to the Rumble among other characters. Leg walking moment. Anyway, back to this. But yeah, after this, yeah, this was looking at some of the gift shop stuff. It's like Christ, giant crystal World Trade Center. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not getting that. I don't got $175. I will say this one was actually kind of nice. I think I had something similar like that, but with the Empire State. We're taking the elevator back down. I'm not looking forward to the airport. Oh, God. Yeah, so the elevator was 37 miles an hour. Was it around now when my ears popped, or was it a bit afterwards? Yeah, Aqua didn't come up with this, which is understandable. I know Lone wasn't big on it either. Was kind of like kind of anxious with it too.
Visiting One World Observatory.
But who else was it? Ultra was like kind of like wobbly going down it as well. Mostly because I don't think he's ever experienced vertigo before. So then I walked out. There's a picture of the museum. That's my friend Dante. Okay, so this is when we actually go into the actual memorial. I will say the memorial like was a fantastic museum. Like there's a specific segment where you can't take any photos though. Like there's pretty much like a big massive area you walk around. You can like read a bunch of different plaques, different stuff like that. But then once you get like into okay, it's I love how it says who marked on Google Maps Twin Towers. Who gave it a poor review? Who gave the World Trade Center the twin tower? Okay, who gave the twin tower? I don't even want to look at the fucking of plane mentioned in 5 review. What the fuck? The 2 towers. What the hell? Who's given it a 1-star review? Hold on. Hold on. Who the fuck out here giving the why is the Twin Towers on marked like here in this spot, and why can you review it? Why can you review the Twin Towers? And why is one of the things mentioned planes? I guess it's the memorial, but like still, I just think it's funnier that it says, "Ah, yeah, the spot, yeah, Twin Towers photo op." That's kind of weird. I think it's weird that someone gave it a negative review. You know when you go to the zoo and all the tigers are. Do not say that for the World Trade Center. Do not fucking call the World Trade Center, the fucking Twin Towers being gone, the equivalent of a fucking tiger being asleep at the zoo. Do not tell me you just called that. Jesus Christ. Does it even show the 1-star review? Can I even view it? I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that fucking review. I'm not reading that fucking review. I just saw what that said. I saw what that. I'm not reading that fucking review out. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Why? Who thought this was a good idea to let you review that? Like, I understand, like, you know, the memorial that would have reviews. I understand that reviews. Why is the Twin Towers an option? The fact that okay, that's the memorial. Okay, the memorial has, like, you know, make more sense, you know, it's all good. I hate that the fucking that the one that's supposed to be attributed to this has 5 reviews with planes in it. They should really deal with these. Right. Actually, back to looking at the World Trade Center. Yeah, so back to the photos. So we started walking through the place, you know, was looking at so this was a flag. So this is a flag they raised after the you know, the tower fell, which is honestly pretty interesting. There's a lot of really cool stuff that, like, you've heard of, you've read about before, and, like, you know, either documentaries or, like, just news reports, journal entries, all these different things over the years, you know, like, and actually getting to see them in person was honestly very interesting. This is some, like, art. This is actually a beam, one of the like piece of metal from the tower itself. It also was very interesting having this. I think the best thing about having this building positioned between where the two the two fountains are, is that you can kind of, like, see, like, you see the emptiness and compare it to, like, what was there. It was very interesting. That's, I think that's remake of the thing there. 1/12th of the model of Fritz Koenig's The Sphere, monumental sculpture commissioned by World Trade Center architect. I will say, was very, very sombering. I think the last time I was at someplace this somber, like, I don't say, like, somber, like, oh, it's just like, it just generally, like, leaves you feeling upset, like, kind of just, like, sad, you know? Just because of, like, the sheer, like, loss of life. The last time I had one of, like, this in, like, a museum, what, like, not museum, well, not museum, or just a place that was, like, talking about history of, like, a sad event or terrible event. The last time for it was about 9 years ago when I went to Auschwitz. Very sombering place. Very interesting. Uh, Honestly, very, like, informative if you go visit it in Poland. I went to Krakow, and then I went from there to to see the concentration camp. I don't want to say I recommend it, but, like, it's something that kind of just, how'd I put it? It's something worth remembering, you know, like, worth going to, like, see, keep the, like, the remembrance of it going. You know what I'm saying? Passing it on, because, you know, the whole, like, forget history, doomed to repeat it aspect of things. But yeah, so we went through. We're looking. They had a coat check, which is honestly nice. Not a lot of places had coat checks. I didn't give my coat because I didn't feel like handing away my leather jacket. Oh yeah. So when my friend Dante came to visit me, because I was meeting up with him for a bit, He couldn't stay for too long, unfortunately, but I was really enjoying his company. Uh it was my birthday, the week, like the Tuesday it was my birthday, the week before. So he just came up. He's like, I didn't know what you like. I was like, I was thinking I'd get you a REM figure or something like that, but it's like, nah, I don't want to go with that. So he got me a Gundam. So I got like, I got a Gundam in the 9/11 memorial. So I was just walking around the 9/11 memorial holding a Gundam the whole time. Oh yeah, this photo here. About 30 minutes before the first tower got hit. Thanks, me. Great photo shot. Oh yeah, and then they had like the timeline and events. Like they had like where each plane went down, where they came from, like their flight path. Like United 93 crashing in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Then there's flight 177, I think. Yeah, 175 and flight 11. It's still kind of amazing to think that I still kind of have a deep-rooted fear of flying as a result of the 9/11. Cordon Street provided historical information for the World Trade Center and its construction on the reverse. First, a map indicated other nearby planes of interest sign of its damage. 9/11 was later repaired and remained in place until 2008. Yeah, so when because I originally, I watched the 9/11 happen when I was a kid. It actually traumatized me completely. I didn't realize it until like recently talking to my mother, that I actually I was afraid of flying for like the next 4 years because I thought we were going to die like 9/11 happened. So I guess I just have a deep-rooted trauma tied to it. And they had this is the sign that was telling you about the heritage trails. That's what it was saying there about the sign that was kept up in 2008 with information and stuff. So yeah, we got. I will say, the New York skyline with the two towers in it looks fantastic. Like the new one looks great, but there was just something about the New York skyline with the World Trade with the old twin towers in it. Like it just looks nice. Like they were really nice buildings. Like I think it like really tied together like the south side of the island. Hmm. Feats of engineering. So so apparently they dumped a ton of the debris into the Hudson. All right. Let's see. So the World Trade Center welcomed visitors from around the world. My aunt was telling me that a few months prior, she was up the World Trade Center like before it collapsed, before 9/11 happened. They were up like 5 months prior because a friend of theirs worked in there. I don't know. I should ask her if her friend was there when the towers fell, and if he got out or if he was there. But she was telling me that they were up it and they saw it was a beautiful building and it was like incredible. And they were actually in the air in a plane flying somewhere else and they had to be forced to land, I think, in the Bahamas because otherwise their plane was being threatened to be shot down if they didn't, because they were actually in the sky at the time 9/11 happened. This place, this thing, this is was the slurry wall or the seawall? This is kind of like an idea of like just how massive the area is for this place. Also, that beam is very significant. It was the last beam that they cut down. It was signed and like it was signed by both police, firefighters, and like family members of certain people lost in the attacks. Yes, the slurry wall. So this is pretty much they were actually so this was on proximity of like I guess bordering the Hudson River. So it was basically kept up to try and stop river water seeping in to like flood the area. The biggest fear on the on 9/11 with that wall was that it would break or give way. And I understand why, cuz Jesus, if uh so if thinking about it, like if that wall behind there, like that big wall there which is holding back the Hudson River, that collapsed or broke, the whole Hudson River is going to come up, fill up the place and start pouring upwards, potentially not only just killing anyone who's trapped underneath, like anyone who survived the towers falling on them and stuck in the rubble, but it potentially will start killing people on the street level because that's just going to be a ton of rapid water coming in, surging up, which is terrifying to think about how, I guess, lucky it didn't break and held. Which is, it's also, that's like one of the few things, like, if you think about it, it could have been even worse on that day. Like, I know the towers, because like the way the fire burned, it kind of just hollowed out the support beam, so they just collapsed all the way down. But Jesus, imagine if it fell any other direction. Like if it fell front, back, or sideways, it could have been so much worse. And the other thing was the last column. Uh, Basically, it was this. As I was saying here, last column was marked as like a symbolic gesture, and they kept it there until May 30th. Yeah, they see like first responders, volunteers, victims, relatives, all like signed the thing. And what was really interesting, like you could like obviously you could get up and see the pillar itself. Oh yeah, this was a thing made for to celebrate the is like a pedestal installed in the plaza to commemorate the location. Look how beat up it is. It says that this plaque has been placed by commissioners of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey in commemoration of the skill and industry of the thousands of construction workers and Port Authority personnel whose efforts created the World Trade Center Dedication Day, April 4th, 1973. So yeah, here's a shot of the World Trade Center. I think is the day before. Yeah, sorry. This is from a shot from like 1995, and then this is what happened on the day. Although I don't think I need to tell most of you what happened on 9/11. Pretty self-explanatory. They had a ton of like missing people posters, like just constantly appearing up. Of like there was a ton. It kept going. Yeah, so it had there was a bibliography type thing that they did for the museum early on. It was saying anyone's name who had like that leaf icon next to him died. And there was a ton. So the I remember the tour guide was saying like for another group that I'd kind of like I want to say eavesdropped in because I didn't wasn't part of the group, saying that the staircase, one of the staircases to one of the other world like buildings, uh, the Vasey Street sidewalk below, the stairs and the adjacent escalator provide an unobstructed exit for those seeking to escape. But what was neat about the having those, like, having those like that escalator stuff like that, there was an overhang above it, and that's why it was so useful. No, but you can just walk the same route as tour guides. There's no laws against it. Oh no, I did. I did. I just I was kind of hovering around, listening to what they had to say. But the overhang of the over like the escalator and stairs gave enough coverage for people, so it was a very safe passage for them, so that any falling debris, lingering debris that would fall down to it, would be stopped. Hello there, greetings. So that was honestly really interesting reading about that. Let's see. Said this one was what's up? Not much. Just doing a chatting stream, just chilling. I am on chatting, aren't I? Yeah, thank God. Well, what's good, Irish? Why are you laughing? What's up? But yeah, so what was it? This thing, this was like a mural or something like that. All right, there's the staircase I was telling you about. They actually kind of preserved it. Do I play games on stream? I do. Just not today because I've just been recapping for the last few streams about a trip I've been on. Yeah, here's an example. See, I mean, the overhang here was very useful at like giving people cover when the building collapsed. All right, most of the damage invisible was inflicted during the cleanup operation, which included demolition of the adjacent escalators and what remained of the nearby buildings. Series was slated for destruction until a federal review process involving preservationists, survivors, and other advocates eventually assured that the symbolic remnant survivor stairs would be saved. Yeah, that's why they call it like the survivor stairs. So yeah, those two escalators were destroyed, but they kept the stairs during destruction of like the other parts. Because originally there were 6 buildings for the World Trade Center. There was the North and South Tower, and then there was 3 other commerce buildings. But yeah, what else? What was after this? It's just another shot of it. Yeah, that's the memorial or something like that of like this it was what they said, it was saying the sky that morning before like the everything went bad. Yeah, I think it's from like old Rome. This well I create that's all good. I appreciate it, but I'm currently fine with stuff as is. But this part here, this is this when we were walking around, they had like some stuff on display on the outside. This caught me off guard. This one genuinely surprised me about seeing this, cause it's from the North Tower. It's part of the radio antenna from the North Tower. Which genuinely surprised me that this survived. That's fine for now. Uh I'm not looking for anything currently. But yeah, it's part of the radio antenna from the North Tower. Uh Funny to think that the radio antennas make up like majority of the thing. I will say my signal up. I don't know if it was in the World Trade Center, but at least in the Empire State Building, my like signal for my phone was fantastic. Like I had absolutely perfect signal. Um, no, that's all good. I not asking for anything currently. All right, transitions from most station. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so they, if I remember correctly, Yeah, so it became like a master. This was like a main TV station, like radio antenna for the city for a while until it got taken down. But yeah, here's a look at the radio tower, the antenna. God, thinking about it, that fell over what 1,400 feet at like I don't even want to know how fast that thing fell when the building collapsed. Then after this, this I didn't go into this exhibit yet. I went to look everything outside before it. But this is the exhibit I was telling you guys about. That they don't allow photography in there. So anyway, we went to where I'm looking around some other stuff on the outside first. So these were like the box column stuff, which they had apparently 84 of on the north one and 73 on the other ones. So they kept these as remnants as well. So stuff like this. Basically support columns that went around the building. Oh yeah, this one was also surprising to see. So oh well, that's kind of see 27 feet per second. What's that in? Let's see. Oh wow. So the looking up that it says that the elevators in the original World Trade Center went up about 27 feet per second, so about 18 miles an hour, which is crazy to think about because the new ones are like twice that speed. The new ones are about 37, 38. But yeah, about 37 miles an hour, so it's twice the speed now. Rising floor indicates the South Tower Express elevator cab expands. But yeah, this was, I believe, it took less than 1 minute. So yeah, this is an elevator motor from one of the uh elevator thing. Freight, local, and high-speed express cars to express cars. This elevator motor, largest model in the world when installed, powered one of the express service cars, which moved at a speed of 600 feet per minute. Total 99 motors operated in the elevator tower. So yeah, this, as you can see, how badly torn apart the steel wiring is on in this. Because if I remember correctly, over 200 people were killed in 9/11 once when the planes hit because the elevators collapsed. Oh, it's just a sponsor. Okay, now this was from company 3, the third ladder company, I believe. This was one of the fire trucks that was one of the first responders. Look how yeah, ladder company 3. Fremont in the West Street near Vest Street. So the company, some of whom had gone off duty after completing overnight shifts, entered the tower. They were among thousands of uniformed responders to collective form. Yeah. So as you can see, like the rest, like there's some damage to this fire truck in some spots, but like fine in others. Yeah. So that captain did not make it out. So as you can see, like look, you can see more dent damage on the side of it, or at the top, there's just like completely like kind of structural collapse. Yeah, there's footage of it actually being there on the day. Like you gotta wonder. Like I'm genuinely curious just how much force had to be done to turn ladder like that into what looks like thread. You know, like just like look at that. Like the sheer amount of like just physical damage there caused by, I'm assuming, debris, like fallen metal debris off the tower. Section of steel facade. So yeah, these steel pieces here are from right beneath where the tower got hit. And that's another example of I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the section of the steel facade is like right here. So that steel facade thing they're talking about is that's from about where point of impact happened. That's from where the plane hit. This is what the excavation site looks around. I want to say, yeah, after about like a year after the towers fell, and it kind of remained like that for several years. Because I was looking into it, so they didn't start work until I want to say the late 2000s on the memorial that we're in right now. It didn't start until like late 2000s, and it didn't finish till about 2011, I want to say. So when I was in New York my last time, so back in like 2008, 2009, they had just started work on it. So it was still just mostly like they were just doing the foundation work. So it was still looked as empty. Like this was all still kind of like just cordoned off, just kind of just there's no uh no building memorial built yet. There was um there's no fountain. I remember it vividly. And then there's this part. This actually kind of got me to tear up. So basically, there was a bunch of motorcycles made and commissioned or fixed by people that were affected. So say like how it was. One of the story was a fireman who bought an old banged up Honda bike, I believe, motorcycle, with the idea of like fixing it up, restoring it. They were doing that. They died off it. They were a first responder. They died in 9/11. People in other fire departments, biker gangs, even Honda themselves reached out and restored the bike in memory of them, which is honestly really beautiful. There's stuff like this built in memorial of it. As you can see, it has part of the like. I want to say the Aaron. I'm gonna keep calling it the Aaron Yeager like subway. But apparently, a group of bikers every year do like kind of pilgrimage in a sense where they start with they start from the first crash, go to then they go to uh DC, go to the Pentagon in Langley, and then they go from there, and then they drive directly to here. Apparently, they do it every year. Oh, this is the one I was telling you about. It's from Ladder Company 9 that died. This they made the bike for him. I think it was Honda. Yeah, it was Honda. Yeah, very beautiful bike too. This one was also a pretty sombering one too. Basically, brother died in the attacks. I think they were working in inside the World Trade Center. So I had like a whole thing about his. So I had like stuff about like stuff like that and his like family. I just love the little Curious George thing because he liked it. Look at it. He's in the Yankees. It's cute. Yeah, that's very sad. Hmm. Yeah, this one's directly for first responders in general. Yeah, that's what I was telling you about them doing a ride all the way from like uh from all the spots. And then they had a little thing where you could sign, like you could sign different messages from like all over. So I saw one from Belfast, and I had to like one up them. Also, someone just straight up just drew the twin towers, which is honestly great. Like the little time, limited time they had, they drew up. Then I saw someone with Love from Ireland. Then there was just another steel beam here. Then I drew my one. That I did that one. That was me. Someone did 9/11, but with like the 11 being the two towers. Yeah, this is from the South Tower. Oh. So yeah, as it's saying there, like 3 of the 4 wells of it split open and just completely collapsed. And this is about the slurry wall again. Simple laborers more than 1 million cubic yards of earth from the area. So the bathrooms deposited this fill into the Hudson River, expanding the island of Manhattan and provide. So basically, they had to expand. They had to push it from one spot to the other to like kind of make up extra land in order to make sure that the river itself wouldn't flood in. So they made more. They expanded out Manhattan to make the World Trade Center, which is honestly a really interesting feat of construction, especially since this took place in the '60s. And then there's a better idea of like what the slurry wall looks like. You can actually hear the wall. Like I don't know if I recorded it or not, but you could around here where this grates is, you can actually hear like the Hudson River and nearby water streams walking through it. There was a thing here where this was the notepad. So there was instances where they had little phones where you can listen in on stuff, right? And it would have like someone talking either about their events or talking about specific, or it'd have specific recordings from people who call like when they're on the plane that's hijacked or in their offices, or calling to loved ones who are in the offices on the day of the attack. This one here was talking about different little aspects of stuff of people who survived the events or were there as like a responder or someone who worked on the cleanup or other aspects of the thing. So I obviously I listened to it, but I think I opted to just read it instead. So I took a photo of each one here. Mm, very sombering stuff. Let's see. Actually, I'll go back to that one and hold on for that one. I'm gonna leave this up so in case people will either want to go through VOD stuff afterwards or anything like that, so you can just pause and read. That's why I kind of linger on some of the photos a bit, so you can at least like stop and pause. Like if you kind of come back to it later, if you know what I mean. I read because I did take a lot of photos of like some of the text. Also, I kind of I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to speed up a bit on my end, not to like rush through this, but just for my own benefit, because I'm gonna start crying if I start reading some of this stuff. I'm a fucking softy for things like this, so this thing will actually get me crying. Look how badly damaged that axe is, though. It's if I had my glasses that day, I'd be wearing them inside here. Terrible day for rain, you know. One of those type of things. Just zoom in so you guys can get a better look on that. It's fun. It's crazy to think that the passenger planes that hit the two towers were were all like I think how to put it. There were the kind of planes that you see within the state like they weren't international planes. They were smaller planes. Like Jesus, imagine if they were a 747 or something like that with actual like 150 passengers. It would have been terrifying. Which reminds me, there was apparently in like November, what was it? There was a plane crash. Yeah, American Airlines flight 587. It crash landed in It crash landed in Queens, but that was due to a mechanical error. But Jesus Christ, it was not a good year for New York. Yeah, no, that this is. Hang on, I'll switch to the It was this. Not a good year for aviation. Definitely increased the fear of flying, anyways. Ugh. Yeah, so the thing about the last column is that they all the stickers and stuff, either some that were removed but replaced like as a like one-to-one recreation type thing, or there was just like the real posters on them. Everything that's on it, which is really cool, is that see here, this is a little display thing, and like it can like you can rotate it to the side depending on which side of facing is, so north, west, east, south facing of the column here. But as you can see, this you can actually scroll up and click on and look at what each thing says, like what each marking or which each signature says, which is very like you could click up on one of these or whatever like that and just get a very good idea of like what each thing says. So you're not just like squinting or trying to read through everything. You can just actually read each little piece of information about it. And then here's the column itself. Absolutely massive. Yeah, this is a 36-foot tall column, if I believe. It's another idea of like the idea of this the slurry wall. Yeah, a tank positioned to the sub buttress slide at the bottom of the original slurry wall of hard diesel fuel from emergency generators was cut apart for removal. Torched out base was left in place. But yeah, here's the last column more close. You still see a lot of the names written scribed onto it. I did make sure to get like a photo of each side just so you can get like a like obviously there's the digital one, but I wanted to get like an actual photo of each side of like, you know, the real deal. Oh yeah, and then there's this which is the removal of the column. And then there had this part here where it had like a list of people who worked, died, or was involved with Glib. Oh yeah, there's the fucking bag with the Gundam in it. I honestly forgot about it. I was so fucking kind of like just hit with the sadness again of like rereading through all this stuff, and I just forgot about I had a fucking fucking box carry of Gundam. But yeah, this is kind of like more of a general idea of how it worked. I did like how they had diagrams for stuff. I can't overstate it enough how good this museum was. Like this is a genuinely like interesting and enriching like environment for like more of an idea of just the events that transpired. So wreckage from the collapse of the twin towers provided support for the slurry wall and had to be removed with great precision. Installation of new enforcing tiebacks was coordinated with debris removal. I know that seems very hard to read there, so I read it out loud. Tieback, reinforcing tiebacks, typically encompassing 21 steel cables enclosed in a metal pipe, drilled into the story wall and down at the bedrock. This section of tieback was removed from the original story wall during construction of the 9/11 War Museum. Okay. This was one of the, yeah, it's a valve line. Whew. Ignition systems, temperature motorized valves could be closed manually for maintenance in case of emergency. If the collapse of the towers, concerned about the risk of flooding, search for the valves underneath the wreckage and close them as a precautionary measure. As I mean by you can actually read the posters. And not only does it have like that you can actually read the poster itself, it has a little like piece of information about what it did, like who's put up the poster. There's a little background. Like this cannot overstate how fantastic that whole thing is. But yeah, where are we at in photos and terms? We're about halfway there, roughly, actually, for today of of day 6. But yeah, Oh yeah, and then there was a whole portion of the museum that talked about the side effects of the actual towers collapsing, being that the dust being very toxic. The fire is burning. Fire is burning for 2 months, for 3 months was insane. There's a later slide of this that says that about, yeah, here it is. 400,000 people were exposed to this toxic air. Um, there's another one as well. It said that there's currently 80,000 people who are currently sick as a result of 9/11. But these 400,000 people are potential. They could have underlying health issues that could see them either have stuff emerge in 5 years, 10 years, or 50 years, which is honestly scary. Just how much fucking dust covered that entire, is horrifying, honestly. "13 pairs of boots." Wanted supervisor developed a cough. He's diagnosed with sarcoidosis and underwent surgery to treat his damaged lungs. Which is insane. He got his lungs damaged even while wearing a respirator. Reliquary. Collected, describe a master Ground Zero arc off the tradition of the reliquary of a container of a sacred object. As worn at the site, it felt a poignancy. What a fucking failure. Oh yeah, the air is all good, guys. You're good to go. Fucking no. It would not be good after 7 days. Yeah, so they jeopardized all those people as a result of that. Yeah, all right. By the night of this, health experts realized the potential dangers of the dust cloud spread across and settled in Manhattan. Within days, they began collecting and analyzing dust samples and anticipating illness people most exposed face. By October 2001, early tests resulted in heightened the experts concerned. Ultimate analysis found that 352 chemical agents in the dust component parts, the concrete, insulation, jet fuel, electrical, computer equipment, and plastic had been pulverized. Paul Leoy, one of the lead researchers, also identified the unusually high concentration of glass particles in the dust. To immediate impact, the dust was particularly damaging to the sinuses, gastrointestinal. That's what's in the dust. Magnified about 1,000 times the size. Dust contains concrete, dust, and fiberglass. When inhaled, yeah, that's just the fiberglass that is going to be so insanely damaging. Look how packed up that dust bag is. Why did it fill their home when debris from the nearby towers crashed to their 10th floor windows? Reported fibrous glass and other industrial contaminants. Jar of ash. Teaser from Lower Manhattan. Turning something back to normalcy. Whitman lied about the toxic. Jesus Christ. That's awful. Manny the so she went sent to New York City and after she shuttled supplies to Ground Zero for a month. Suffers from 9/11 related illness. Many of the volunteers who signed her vest have died. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there it is. More than 80,000 people are known to be suffering from 9/11 related illnesses. So, rhinosinusitis, asthma, bronchitis, and acid reflux. World Trade Center. So, New York City firefighters determined that those who had arrived on the scene earliest suffered the highest rates of respiratory illnesses. Types of cancer, yeah. VCF. Regulation placed restriction on covered. That shit's fucked. That's the shit that's fucked here. It's like, oh yeah, you weren't there in the first 12 hours? Yeah, go fuck yourself. That's just terrible. Took almost 10 years. That's 10 years of no support, no medical aid or anything like that. That's 10 years of people who died because of that neglect. "12 times faster than the average population." Jesus. This number of great more people face terrible impacts on their livelihood. Nine 11 community provided through this case for years of advocacy. 9/11 related healthcare is now assured through 2090. Sadly, it'll be needed as new cases emerging. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna cover you till 2090. Good chunk are dead. Good chunk will die in the next 5 to 10, 15 years, and mostly people who will be using that are children who are exposed in either the near being in the area, being living near the area, or were in the schools that were affected. Lila Nordstrom. Isn't Nordstrom is she anything to the Nordstrom company? Or is it just a common name? Probably just a similar name. Let's see. Hard to find the words to describe it other than fuck. Rice? Is it not just fucked? Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. I made a similar comment, but about something else Irish. And my comment was, it's crazy how we like go back to the motorcycle stuff, right? All the people who chipped in, people who just coming together, like support all these amazing like people working together, like showing support, like even countries abroad showing solemnness. All this like support, positive all this positive reinforcement, all this stuff like that. And then immediately America goes to war and throws it away and invades Iraq, invades Afghanistan, then goes and invades Iraq 2 years later. You know what I mean? Just immediately turning, and then that's not even talking about all the discrimination or hatred or anything like that that went towards anyone who's Muslim or anything, or just could be grouped into that, by people back then. You know what I mean? Like how fast they went from, you know, like absolute beautiful works of like cooperation, genuine humanity to like an empathy to just pure violence and like hatred. That was one of the things I mentioned to Dante. That was like, because that the motorcycle stuff, some of that stuff, that was absolutely beautiful. Seeing people like coming out to help, no matter even like despite the injustices, seeing this shit about the medical stuff and how most of them didn't get coverage for nearly 10 years, or the fact that the stock exchange is going down, they can't have the financial crisis. What's a few 100,000 people to like the rest of the American economy? We can't get them out of here. Just open up everything. Oh, it'll be fine. Like Jesus Christ, how much you overlook something like that. You know what I mean? How much there's overlooking of like the people of like fuck their safety. We need the country needs to keep running. Chemotherapy. Alvarez used Congress to extend the VCF. The badge created. So a detective who is polling for trying to get the VCF extended. Wait, does that mean they only extended it in the last 7 years? That's even more fucked. Yeah, there's probably entire families who've either gone bankrupt. Just thinking about it, how many families went bankrupt or otherwise just lost family members in unnecessary means because they got no coverage post 9/11. Like families, like spouses, children. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the infected blood scandal thing over here that happened in the 80s and people still haven't been paid. Or like the mad cow disease shit. Remember the mad cow disease stuff from like the, what was it, the early 90s? Happened in the UK. Wasn't there like well, it wasn't that infected blood thing some postman or some dude who kept like volunteer who kept donating blood despite the fact he was like had bloodborne diseases or some shit? Or am I thinking of someone else? Someone else that like was donating shit despite having blood related illnesses. I can't remember what it was exactly. Ah, that's what it was the HIV stuff. That's what it was there. Lawsuits. Yeah. All right. Testifying before Congress. Jesus, the poor fella. Look at him. Look how emaciated he is. Drive to treat ground zero workers in recovery work. Jesus, look how much medication they needed. $725 million wouldn't get most of them any medical. New York lawmakers celebrating the passage of the Zadroga Act on December 23rd. What is the Zadroga Act? Okay, what is the Zadroga Act? The James. Okay, I'm reading this off here. All right, let's see. The James. Yeah, I'll bring up the thing. Why not? So the James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensation Act 2010 is a U.S. law to provide health monitoring and aid to the first responders, volunteers, and survivors of the 9/11 attack. It is named after James Zadroga of the U.S. Police Department, whose death was linked to exposure from World Trade Center. That law funds and establishes a health program to provide medical treatment to responders and Bob Menendez, Representative Caroline Maloney initially co-sponsored the bill, which failed to pass in 2006. A different version with bill both chambers in 2010 was signed by Obama in the beginning of 2011. The bill was subsequently reauthorized in 2015, coverage extended to 2090. The current bill was sponsored by Senator Representative Caroline, signed into law by Donald Trump. Okay, what was there anything? Beginning in 2016, the Treasury Department withheld payments to the FD and established by the Zadroga Act, using the funds to pay the Department of Health and Human Services, which was not intended purpose of these funds. Of course, someone fucking laundered the money. Of course, someone laundered. Of course, someone laundered the fucking money. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised that someone fucking laundered money meant for people who were sick? Why am I not fucking surprised? I don't know about you, but there's something unsettling about these people. There's nothing I don't. I'm gonna say it once and I'll say it again. I don't trust a smiling politician. Well, I don't trust a politician anyway. But a smiling a politician like this, that I don't know. You know what I mean? That just it doesn't feel sincere. It feels like those It feels like a fake smile. I don't know. They're just call me skeptical or call me like thing, but there's something off about these people. You get what I mean, right? False platitudes always rub me the like. I feel maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are genuine here, but it doesn't feel it. These are what is this? A fucking senator, Republican senator. These are all just senators. Yeah, no, I lawmakers and politicians. I don't trust them. I don't trust a politician, especially. 90% of the time, the word hero gets thrown around. It's the least sincere, right? Right? Like I just don't trust it. I don't trust lawmakers and politicians when they're smiling. They're up to something. Cases of 9/11 exposure unscrewed. Activists come. Oh yeah, this is what it's talking about. People were sick all across the nation. Survivors responded from all 50 states and Washington D.C. who had been friends of the Pentagon near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, registered in the program. In 2010, the Congress passed the James Sadoga Act, covering all established the world. However, the Sadoga Act only funded the VCF through October. It stopped. The fucking act stopped in 2017. Are you kidding me? If that's what if I'm reading that correctly. Maximizing health and coverage for those suffering. 9/11 analysis took tenacious lobbying effort that was stated to expire. They really said, yeah, we only go, hang on, let's go back. The Zerdroda Act came into 2010. You're kidding me. They were going to expire it after 5 fucking years. Most of these illnesses are long-term illnesses. So it's like, here's 5 years. Go fuck yourself afterward. Like, what the hell? Okay, Congress ended this act funding of the World Trade Center until 2019, but only replenished the VCF for another 5 years. Advocates mobilized again in preparation for the 2020 deadline. Capitol Hill advocates spoke frankly in 2019. The legislation funding of the through 2019. Never forget the Heroes Act was named in honor of James Sadoga, Ray Pfeiffer, and Luis Alva. How am I doing on water? On September 11, our nation suffered loss we could not imagine and witnessed heroism we will never forget. As one of the first responders, we owe you our enduring appreciation and unfailing support for your sacrifice to keep us safe. Many thanks to for your leadership on the never forget the heroes. Both alongside James Zadroga, Ray Pfeiffer, and Louise Alvarez, permanent authorization of the September 11 Victims Compensation Fund Act in ensuring the financial security and support of 9/11 heroes, survivors, and families deserve. On behalf of the House of Representatives, please accept you sign a small token of appreciation effort. Thank you again, John, for that. In regards, Nancy Pelosi. Goddamn it. Pens used by you to never forget act. Just gave 2 pens. Didn't someone say they were a Sharpie? And I think I took a photo of that earlier. Illustrated by Ray Pfeiffer and Rob Serra. Jeez, he has to have the motorized one too. All right, I'm gonna go grab some water real quick, so I'll be back in just a moment. So give me a minute or two. All right, I am back. Hello. Sorry about that. I had to fight a spider. I had to fight a spider and I had to pick something up to hit it with because I'm not touching a spider. Because knowing my luck, I'd fucking hit the part where its fangs are. Where was it? Oh yeah, we're going over this. And then they had the patches for this guy. For Pfeiffer. Wait, when did he die? Ah, he died 2017. So before the act could even get into extended service. Collapse the tower. Hang on a sec. Just collapse the tower. This is excellent. On the environment now, authorities recognize the illness may spread from beyond the crisis scene, take years to develop. And they ended up fucking thinking about 9/11 about the Bin Laden compound. They had the war on terror. Mind you, the Patriot Act was the other thing that came into effect. Of course, they killed him with a drone strike. "20 years of global war on terror sought to end the threat of other organized terror groups." Okay, there is a lot I could say about that fucking statement. That's a fucking, you got a lot of fucking nerve to say that last part. You know what I mean, Irish? In the mistaken belief that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. Yeah. That's not what I'm talking about. Ultimately, these military campaigns did not produce new governments willing or able to suppress the terror threats. My brother in Christ, you caused the terror threats. You know what I mean? That's some horse shit right there. You caused the terror. Didn't support a government. You did fuck all for trying to set. No. Here's what you tried to do. You showed up. You fucking toppled an entire country. You then tried to make a country that it does not use the same sort of democratic or way of life that they do in the US. Didn't try to adapt it at all. Didn't try to change it. Didn't work. You said, Ash, they're not good enough. They can't follow that. Then you fucked off and created like 4,000 new fucking terrorist cells. The war on terror was increased because of fucking Iraq's collapse. Because not only did you like collapse the government, you started firing people after the fact, people that were either partly connected to the Ba'ath Party or were like five something removed. I can't remember the word is, like something removed or whatever. But that's the fact. People were getting fired over nothing. Now people are pissed at the U.S. for doing stuff, burning crops that they didn't like back home, like poppy fields, burning those, and like, yeah, fuck you, burn that, doing all these things, and then like you expect, why is there terrorist cells? Because you create the problem, you piss people off, you bomb the country, you collapse the economy, you destroy everything. It was dictatorships bad? Yeah, it is. But what did you replace it with? Nothing. Nothing really. So you have people who are pissed off, have no money, and they're out of options. There comes the rife for fucking building hatred, because hatred brings more hatred. You wanted revenge for 9/11, you did it. You also created more terrorist cells than before 9/11. It's just what happened. And this is the Bin Laden compound, I think, from 2012 or 2011? It's 2011, yeah. This is a model of that. Just took a single brick back. This is the thing where they had like evidence of like reward. They were offering $23 million for Al Zawahiri. Usama bin Laden. This is in what, 1993? Oh no, this is the 2006 one. This was before, yeah, this was before. I remember they had him like before. Right? More stuff for excavation. This one was full size prints of people that were first responders. More about column remnants. And zoom in just so it's easier to see on the stream. Because unless you're on phone, it's kind of difficult to see anything. Right, what was I saying? I was going through this. All right. Kissed every single one of them. We all love it. Jesus, that's gotta be so fucking grim. Getting calls from getting calls from the fucking top floor of the World Trade Center after being hit. Especially since most of those people killed themselves. Rather than going down with the whole building. That's a better one to read actually. I took a better photo. Thank you, past me, for doing that. VOD watchers are appreciating it. you know, launched in the response to war on terror, exact enormous price and combat in the Middle East. Some of the service members died. More than 50,000 were wounded. NATO and other military aid allies, militaries lost more than 1,000 local military partners suffered. I don't I feel like I get the sympathy. I like there's the part I get, you know, like the serviceman died, but I think it's in very poor taste that you mentioned war on terror in this place. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sit right with me, cuz how many like when you see hundreds of thousands of civilians died, that doesn't exactly that you know what I mean, Irish? It doesn't really sit well with me. Like it kind of feels how would I put it? Feels like it's in poor taste to like bring up the war on terror, like in the face of everything. Yeah, it very much overshadows everything. I was like you have this whole museum talking about like the war on like 9/11, and then you bring up like the thousands, hundreds of thousands of people died due to you. That is entirely the United States' fault. Those people wouldn't be dead if you didn't do the war on terror. Those were all deaths caused as a result of this. Unless this is supposed to be like a make America think about what they did part, which in that case that's a really good point. But I like to point out that I noticed something very very specific with this. So notice how like they give for like the service members, they give like in numbers, and same with NATO and like other stuff that they mentioned the combatants, but then they kind of just they and especially like the military like partners they had in like Afghanistan and Iraq, but then they just kind of just used only text. Notice how they only use text for civilians. Notice that. Notice how the civilians are kind of underglossed. You know what I mean? It's very very undercuts the whole thing. Like, oh yeah, cool. I guess I'll feel bad. Yeah, sure. I guess I'll feel bad for the 7,000 servicemen that died. I guess I should feel less sad about the hundreds of thousands of people that died. What's worse, I think, is that they'll come back 20 years later and make a movie about how killing your people made their soldiers. They did exactly. It's fucking exactly. Well, isn't that what they're starting to do now? I swear they've done a bunch of films like that. I like how it doesn't launch. I like how it kind of glosses over the fact about. I feel like the museum is fantastic, but the moment it talks about like the war on terror, you can really see like, you know, you know what I mean. You really see like the that's when it starts becoming a bit more, "Ugh." Like that. That's my only thing. Fortunately, there was like only a tiny amount about this. Mm. This is like a special forces thing or something like that about different fire rescue men or like different things. Like I'm all for like Remembrance Day for soldiers, but I I have and I still don't think anything involving the war on terror was justified. I don't think like sure going after Bin Laden, fair enough, but like going like pretty much destroying Iraq and Afghanistan was not. And then just staying like, especially with the like, oh, mission accomplished. Where's the George Bush picture? Where is he? Where's that fucking infamous photo? That fuck ass photo. Saying this, saying fucking this, and then like immediately and then staying in like in Iraq and Afghanistan for nearly like 20 like 18 more years. I don't know. I wish they also addressed the U.S. attacking any allies that like tried to shut them down, like France, like them being like because everyone showed the U.S. sympathy, like even though they weren't didn't approve of like going into how would I put it, going into Afghanistan. They're like, all right, that's fair. You guys got attacked and stuff like that. You're hurting, but like the Iraq stuff, even then they were like, that's kind of pushing it. All right, so after that I went inside. There was a ton of stuff. There was so inside the exhibition area, like the place you couldn't take photographs of. There was a spot. It kind of had like stuff had a general timeline of events. So like from start to finish, everything leading up. Had the pre up like of before, like following all the different people who took part in the attacks, like all the different people who were on each plane. What else did they have? It had vehicles, items and stuff like that that were in the buildings that were survived the crash. There was destroyed like police cars, ambulances, fire trucks, all these different stuff. There was phone calls of people you could listen in. You could hear people calling their families or loved ones, like their last message they recorded, calling into 9/11, calling in. Like calling in to like their loved ones, and honestly, it was hard to listen to them. The most of them. Um, but it was generally that exhibit part was very informative. There was so much to read. I read through nearly all of it. Uh, it's a slow process, especially with the people around. There was little side rooms then where you could sit down and have like people talking about them surviving the events and stuff like that, and just different perspectives, different things. Like there was parts for each place. There was one for the crash in Pennsylvania. There was one for the one in the both North and South Tower. There's one for the Pentagon as well, and there's like debris and other items dislodged and caused from it. There was even CCTV footage. They also had footage of like stuff like footage of the newscast watching the tower collapse in real time in the minute and a half it took to fall. There was also the infamous footage of like the camera crew sitting down. Where was it? The like the one where they were recording like a news recording. But yeah, there was a ton of stuff in there. Very informative. I couldn't take photos. Like the only thing I could find was at one point was like I saw like a Waterford crystal thing, which is made from which is from in Waterford nearby where I live. The factory's closed with years now, but it was a full American flag made of with a crystal towards the exit. Um, there was I will say a somewhat kind of funny thing. So there was two times where it was like kind of a somewhat comedic thing that happened. Like it's not like a ha ha thing. Well, one of them was, but the other one was like, oh, that's neat, kind of like just a coincidence of timing. The first one was me walking through it and like, everything's serious. I'm getting really like teared up a little bit with some of the stuff. And then like I see the fucking fuck ass photo. You know the one. You know the fucking photo. The fucking photo showed up. This photo fucking showed up in the fucking museum. I had to fucking stop myself. This image is ruined for me. You fucking know the other thing was then there at the end there was like a point where it's like it had all these like how'd I put it, all these postcards, like drawings, all these different things from like families, kids, and everything about like their loved ones who died, and or people that saved and did help during the thing, and it was God, it was hard to read. It was very hard to sit through, or like just go about without like not immediately starting to tear up. Like Jesus Christ, absolutely fucking soul crushing. Reading all of it. But the other thing, so I was looking around, and then there's parts of reading about like symbolic stuff, and it got to the point about you all remember the famous like Ground Zero cross, right? It was a is a the very famous like metal cross that was viewed as a religious symbolic like this right, this cross was at the symbol, and people came up and prayed by it during the after the collapse, and it was like religious symbol for like a lot of people symbolically, and it was kind of stayed there. So I was reading about it and I was looking at it and I was thinking to myself, oh wow, yeah, no, I remember the cross, that's super famous. And I was like, and as I was saying that to myself, I was like, oh, oh man, whatever happened to that? And then like I like move an inch to the right, and I like look up for half a second, and then this isn't my photo. This is one from the museum because I couldn't take a photo of anything in this. And then I was like, oh shit, never mind, there it is, found it. Yeah, no, it's right there among other stuff like that. It also listed a bunch of countries that people are affected who died from 9/11. Ireland was a pretty big one in that regard. But yeah, after that, I got to the exit, and there was just some like urns and some like art people made and like memorial. Um, and water to flood Cooper's home in New Orleans. So it got affected by Hurricane Katrina, huh? They also had inside the exhibit towards the end. They also talked about other terrorist attacks, like they talked about the famous British one, 7/7, the 7/7 bombings in July 2005. They also had obviously the flight 357 that crashed in Queens in November 2001. I think after that I went to the gift shop. They had some stuff here. They had that. Oh, right. So there was a thing that also made me tear up a bit. There was a part about a dog. There was a dog named Sirius that was used to like find and rescue people. It rescued a bunch of people, and then eventually the owner and the dog got separated as the building collapsed. They found the owner. The owner wanted to go search for his dog, but they wouldn't. And then in February of 2002, they found the remains of the dog, to which they gave them a proper burial. And I think the dog got a service medal. Let me. Yeah, the police dog. So he has the Victoria Cross. Yeah, so the dog got a Victoria Cross, the only non-human to get a Victoria Cross in a service star. And I remember it specifically because so after when I went to the gift shop, I wanted to get like a magnet or something, a fridge magnet or something like that. I also bought this T-shirt. Let me switch to the other camera so you get a better idea. So I got this T-shirt. And so I kept that's the one I kept saying, the 9/11 shirt, because it pretty much is. It's just the 9/11 shirt. And then I got like the plush of the dog. Why not? So I got like this plush of the dog Sirius because it was a Labrador. You put him back in there for a second. So you already know, given the fact I lost my dog last year, and seeing that like that service dog that like saved a bunch of people and died was also a Labrador, that shit hit me. That shit hit close to home. So I had to go buy it afterwards. So then I ended up buying that, a magnet, and I donated it. Oh yeah, the one thing that I did not expect in the 9/11 museum was having like 3 different staff members working there compliment my leather jacket. That was not what I expected that day. Like just this randomly was like, it's like, nice jacket, bro. I was like, thanks. Just randomly by the staff. It was very weird. Like, I'll take the compliment, but didn't expect to go into the sad, like go into a very sad and somber place and get like my fit like thumbs up, you know? I think this was the South Tower one. Yeah. After that, I took another photo of the Trade Center. Just took near the park. We're back here again. I went over here, went back into this. This is more of an idea of like from the other side of things of what the looking down right underneath. I believe underneath where I'm standing is where the direction towards New Jersey is, whereas over that way is back into the mainland, Manhattan. Yeah, there's the new path trains to New Jersey. Yeah, over that way to the right was Aqua, and then some dude tried begging for money or something like that. With like he had like a piece of paper and something like that, trying to like get it up, but he kept like asking every other person with a slightly different story afterwards. After that, I met up with Aqua and all of them. They wanted to go get a train, or sorry, no, they wanted to go head to like Chinatown and just leave right away. Personally, I did not want to leave because I had stuff I wanted to do. What I wanted to do though was I wanted to go and see the how would I put it? I wanted to go see Federal Hall, because we play Metal Gear Solid on this channel, and I wanted to see the funny Federal Hall as I went. So I started walking away, and oh yeah, I saw Amish people. It was fucking crazy. It's a whole group of Amish people. Never saw them before in person, but now I did. Then I walked up a street. Let me see if I can find this on the map. So if I switch back to Chrome, where Where is the fire thing? I think I walked down the street this way. Yeah, I did. So I got to about here. Found another Irish pub, by the way. O'Hara's. But yeah, this is this spot here. So it's dedicated to those lost. It's a very beautiful memorial on the wall with all the names written in. Probably needs to be restored and at some point due to like all the weathering. Couldn't get that lady out of the photo. She just would not move. Yeah, as you can see, she would not move. So I had to just walk around her. But yeah, no. Got all these shots. I found this pub. I was like, all right, cool pub. Then after that, I continued walking, to which I then ended up where was it? Here. Yeah, I walked up this way. That's that building there, as you saw. Then I went, yeah, that's that building there, like as you saw there a second ago. That's that one. And then I looked up here to this building, as you can see. Following that, I think I just kept walking down. I think that way. Yeah, because I was heading towards the New York Stock Exchange. That's right, yeah. So then I ended up over by here, which is, I think, Trinity Church. Yeah, Trinity Church. Yeah, it's where Alexander Hamilton and other early Americans are built. So yeah, right here, I was at Trinity Church. I think it was closed at the time, so I couldn't go in, but I was like, I'll take a few photos of this place. It's like the Trinity Church. Pretty famous, Oh, let's see. So Alexander I should watch that musical at some point, the Alexander Hamilton thing. So yeah, walked over this, took some photos. Then I went down, I want to say, hang on. Then I went down this way. So fun fact, this street's closed off. Not like this, but it's closed off. So keep walking this way. You get through and you get to like the stock exchange. Yeah, bring back up this. Flip this over. Walk down this way. That's the stock exchange from this side of things. We're on Wall Street now. And walk down the road. This dude also was just standing there this whole time. Yeah, after that, walked down this way. Got to Federal Hall, which is over here. Where is... Yeah, sorry. It brought me over to that street for some reason. It's this way. I was down this street. And I stopped about here. Mind you, it wasn't this open when I was, well, sorry, that way was open. It wasn't that not deconstructed back then. Like if I stand here, you'll see like it without all the stuff on it, which is from 2021. But if you go to my point of view, there's a lot more blocked off. Yeah, for I will say this, for the next 2 days of the trip, I'm going to be mostly by myself. So for the rest of this day and all of the next day, I'm pretty much by myself until the end. So I took photos of this, Took a photo. That I think I sent this photo to Irish and Joe in front of Federal Hall. I was like, hey, what day is it today? April 30th. Then after that, I took another photo of the stock exchange. Honestly, the outside artwork and like sculptures are really pretty. Shame that Arsenal Gear destroyed it in Metal Gear Solid 1 too. How the fuck thinking about the thing of it, how the hell did how did the US economy recover from all of Wall Street being covered by a giant fucking Metal Gear? Like 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 if you look at like this photo here, for instance, of how much of like fucking Manhattan, like that's most of Battery Park. If the World Trade Center was still there, that'd be crushed. Like that is so much property damage and so much stuff done. Like Jesus Christ, how did the U.S. economy come back from that? But yeah. So after that, so, wait, did I not show any of that? Yeah, but like, look, Arsenal Gear crashed here. It's gonna cover up all of that. Like that's gonna kill at least a couple thousand people. I mean, I guess they can cover themselves in that by saying because Metal Gear Solid 1 is set in 2005. But yeah, so I took some photos of Stock Exchange, saw the like Trump building or whatever. Then I started walking again. So what I did is put it back on the Chrome. I did this, looked up there, saw that like there's the Trump building or whatever, Trump Tower or whatever that. Then I started walking towards this way. Then I did see something funny. I wonder if it's here in this photo now or is it something they added later on. Not get down that way. So I walked this way, took some photos. Joe the Juice. I took that photo because of Joe. So what I ended up doing then is I guess I can't walk further down this street. Um, so I walked down this street, walked down here, I think. No, not here. Oh yeah, so I walked down this street all the way down to about here. Till eventually I think I got to uh or whatever the New York this museum down this way. Walked down this road. I think. till I got in front of here. So basically I walked till I got around to this spot here. This place was blocked off a bunch here on my end too. So I walked about to around here from the map. So I went from stock exchange up around there, all the way down, crossed over this way. So I got to the museum over here, which is the, let me see, it's uh, the National Museum of American Indian, and yeah, that's what it's called. So I went over there. Again, so much of New York was under construction. Alexander Hamilton Custom House. What? Hold on. Okay. The Alexander Hamilton U.S. Custom House Water Infiltration Remediation Project. Donald Trump. All right, back to what I was looking at. So then I walked around the side here, walked towards Battery Park. At some point, yeah, I found that there was people, uh, the fake monks. Saw this dude, kept walking around the way, saw Hello Kitty. So if I was to map it out roughly, I walked this way, crossed the street, walked all the way down here. Wonder if the monks will show up in this. Walked till about, no, not here, to the next spot, I think. Unless the fucking Hello Kitty is new. It's new. The fucking Hello Kitty is new. So between now and last year, they added a fucking Hello Kitty statue. At which point I saw, like, going down here how packed this place was at the time, and there's a bunch of, like, the scammers type thing and all this, and I was like, it's not worth it. I might as well just turn back. So I ended up not going further. I started walking back towards this direction, crossed the street again, walked through this little park here. It's a nice little quaint park. And then I walked past all these people over here who are next to the bull. It is this packed even at any time of the day, basically. So yeah, I walked backwards. Got this nice little shot as I was leaving. I liked how this turned out. And there's this little thing here. I have like a little map point for you. Found a wine exchange. Saw this stuff. Saw the Ukraine flag. And I guess the original flag for the U.S. when it fucking rebelled. Went to this little park. Saw these people queuing up for the bull. Took a bull photo as I was walking past. Saw Trinity Commons, which I'm assuming is yeah, so if I kept walking down this way, I think, until I stopped. Sorry, no. What I did was I walked this way, then walked down this side street. Wait, I walked down. Can this fucking bus get out of my way? I walked down this street over here, and I came out this side. Yeah. basically I walked down. This is the street I'm on. I walked down this way. So I'm over here now. Oh, TGI Friday. I don't think that was there when I was there. So I walked down this way, got to the Trinity Commons building, which is over this way. Why can't I? What is Trinity Commons? It's community center. Okay. So yeah, I walked through this. I think I just kept walking down the street until I got back to this area, I think. Yeah, so I found the American Stock Exchange, which is yeah, and I kept walking this way, I believe. So yeah, the American Stock Exchange is this building here. Kept walking this way until I think I took a turn somewhere. Not that way. I didn't go through an alleyway. I'm not that dumb. I ended up back this way now. So I said, you know, I might as well start heading back. So I did look at this pizza place and it was kind of pricey, I think. Oh no, it was initially. I think after that, believe I started walking back to where the World Trade Center was, which is over here. Started walking past it again so I could start heading in a different direction. I will say at this point when I was walking past, I heard a plane flying over. I think it was a prop plane, but still I heard a massive plane fly in this direction. I was like, I do not want to be hearing this right now near when I'm in this area. To which then I took more photos of the graffiti stuff, walked alongside. Can it not like. What the hell? 2016? What? Yeah, there was like. I don't think it was this place, but. It's over this way roughly. Yeah, see it's past there, so it's so if I put this maybe over here? Yeah, maybe that's probably the right way. So yeah, anyway, so I started walking past the place from before. So there's the WCC. There it is. There's the beer garden. So I walked this way. Now it's all coming back to me. So I came around that way, walked around that side spot, took a shot of this beer garden with the Twin Tower, the World Trade Center behind it. So yeah. Oh wow. I fucking I replicated that perfectly. Holy crap. Good job, me. Yep, got that photo. Looked down that way. Found the federal office. Found the fucking post office. I think it is. Yeah. Then I walked this direction. Remember, because I took a photo of a a postal service van. Then I walked down this way, and I was like, you know, I don't know any of the way in these streets because unlike the other spots, the street names are different. However, because I'm in New York, I have one big. How did I get inside this person's place? What the fuck? Where am I? Where the fuck am I? Cool. Oh, hey, Lone. Where's the post office again? Uh, I don't think that's the building. Where's the World Trade Center again? Let's keep following this way, this way, this way. Yeah, I believe I kept going. How you doing today, Lone? She'll just put on the. Okay, I went down that way. Thank you for the 51 months, Lone. I appreciate it. Okay, now it's coming back. So what I did is I walked down this way. Just passing by before I need to get ready for work. Understandable. I'm just going through what way I went on my trip back, on my way back after the World Trade Center. So I went down here, kept walking down. I think I kept following a path this way until eventually I could. No, that's I hate when it puts me in the wrong direction. So let me go back there again. So where's the post office? So I went down Broadway Street. Okay, so I'm gonna go this. It's not that way. This way. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. So I walked down this way. I could see in the background of the shot, I could see like the Empire State Building. So that was the best guide for me as a means of getting back, because these streets aren't labeled. They actually are just called, like, instead of like, you know how like, we'd like 1, 2, 3, like up to 50 or whatever when we were going down the other streets alone. These ones did not. These ones were named after actual places, and they have place names. So there was no numbers at all. They didn't start for, I want to say like 20 blocks, 25 blocks maybe. That's when it started counting. So I kept following it. Saw this place. I don't know why. The New York County Supreme Court, which I think is nearby. New York County. Yeah, it's around this way, I think. No, sorry, no. Is that one? 71 Thomas Street. Hang on. See, that's more like it. Yes, we're going down this way. Right next to the Western Union building. So, because I think I took a photo of the Western Union building. Nope. Took a photo of a cafeteria thing. For some reason. So I kept walking. Till eventually I kept walking until I got to a place. I know, now I remember what I did here. Yeah, I found the Ghostbuster place then after it. So after that, we found the Ghostbuster spot, which if I bring up this. Yes, it's just around the corner. I took us. That's right. I went down this way, went around here. Okay, here. This is it. So the diner is here. I believe it was closed. So yeah, I walked down that way then till I eventually got around the corner here. I believe it's, yeah, it's right here. This is the spot. Of course, people taking photos there. Let's see. What are the menu like in that place anyways? Let's have a look at this place. Let me do breakfast, huh? Oh, lunch and dinner, alright. So soup of the day. Not too bad, honestly. $10. Actually, never mind. $10 for fries. That's how you can tell you're in the bougie district. All right. So after that, I took a few photos of the Ghostbusters place, because I had to get it because I love I love the first Ghostbusters movie, especially since I mentioned how we ended up at the ending of the place by accident. And I started walking away again. After this point, I tried finding the spot from Spider-Man 3, but I could not find it for the life of me. So I started walking for a bit. Found another what looked like Irish place, because they just kept flying Irish flags, which is on, was it Grand Street Social? So it's about here, if I could hide this. So I ended up down this way from the Ghostbusters place. I walked down the street down here, ended up over here. I think at this time someone messaged me saying, hey, Opti, Aqua said go eat something. I'm like, I'm working on it. There was a place next to it, which on Lafayette Street, which is a karaoke bar, which I think is in the next photo. It is. They did karaoke or something like that. I didn't go in. Then I kept walking down the way. Saw that really old fucking car. Looked like a Jeep. Saw this building. And then I ended up in the Little Italy. Ended up in... Let's see. Little... Yeah, so then I just walked down the corner over here and I got to it. So yeah, I walked over here. I said, this is it. This is the place. The Gabagool. This is where I get my good food. And I think I went down this way. I either went down. No, actually, no. What I did is I went this way. I went down this street. I kept walking around until I got to a place that I think was Amik. That was called Amor. There was a ton of places. Honestly, if I was here longer, I probably would have went to more of them. But yeah, so I went down here, went down Little Italy. It was very quaint. I actually liked the place there. So I went through it. It was very pretty. Fucking dog. Went through all this. Yeah, that sounds about right. Scrolled through these. Saw a few pizza places. I ended up going to a place called Amore. That's the one. If I remember correctly. Yeah, well, I ended up going into this one. It's honestly pretty nice. So I ended up sitting down, looked at some of the menu stuff. I never got the whole secondy thing because I saw a bunch of restaurants do this where it's like, oh, you get your main and you have the second. I'm like, I never got that. I so apparently, okay, so looking at it means second course of meal. So that's interesting. So I guess you have so apparently most consists of veal, chicken, pork, and fish. But yeah, I went through it. I ended up getting some pasta. I think I ended up I was tied between getting the fettuccine alfredo and getting the pappardelle bolognese. So I ended up getting the bolognese. I ate some bread. I ate all the bread. And they got this. Then they asked if I wanted cheese on it. I'm like, sure, put cheese on it. Then I ate all that. Then I had to go on my from Amor to so then I had to go do this walk. Remember what I said about earlier about doing about who would walk an hour from the thing. At this time, I contacted Virus saying how what are you guys doing? Because they went to Chinatown, and the Virus is like, oh yeah, we just finished up. I was like, oh cool, I'm almost done. Do you want me to meet up with you guys? And then to which Virus never replied to me. So I just said, I guess I'm walking back then. So I ended up not doing anything, and I started just walking all the way back towards on this journey. So I started walking back, saw more stuff as I went. The lights here were very pretty at night. So I went through, looked as I went down the street, kept going. So I was like old cobble road down, I think. Let's just follow the path. That's the wrong. I hate when it puts me in the opposite direction. So yeah, we just kept following this path. Maybe he ran into some big trouble in Little China. Maybe he did. You know, I never ended up actually going to Chinatown. Unfortunately, because the only day we went to it was the day we went to the World Trade Center, and I ended up going to Federal Hall and Federal Hall, and I went to fucking what's it called? The Little Italy. So the rest didn't go to Italy, but I went to they went to Chinatown. I went to Little Italy, basically. Be fair, I prefer Italian cuisine, anyways. But yeah, so I found Shakespeare in the Park, despite the fact that's clearly a building. That was like, I thought I'd been lied to. So I went through it, walked around, kept walking, saw was a Raising Cane's or whatever. Found the Allspark. That one caught me off guard. Like, what are you doing here? I think it's about this spot here is where it is. Yeah, there's the fucking Allspark. It's right there. Next to that bank or whatever. So then I went into, was it Union Square Park, I believe, which is just down the road. Yeah, I went in here. I went into this place at nighttime. There's a lot of people there, so it was pretty chill. So I was just cutting through. It's like, why not? Might as well cut through this side. As I was doing so, fucking 3 dudes showed up, and it was so funny. They're on fucking hoverboards with lightsabers. There all 3 of them. Fucking 3 dudes on hoverboards with like there was like a hoverboard gang. There was one gang of like 7 of them just driving by, and then there was these dudes. There's 3 of them. All of them had fucking lightsabers just going around on hoverboards. I'm like, this is crazy. Like I was genuinely just trying doing tricks and other shit with love hoverboards. I was just thought it was so fucking funny, just seeing the shit I see in New York is honestly hilarious. This is a sub story ass moment if I ever saw one. After that, what we end up doing is went through it, got a nice photo of this spot here in Union Square Park. Then I looked over and there's people playing, I think one singer and one dude on the guitar. And I just like, oh, that's cool. Started walking towards, saw the clock tower again. Walked past the fucking Flatiron building. So fun fact, the Flatiron building is actually being renovated. Hang on a sec. Oh, yeah, the Flatiron building's being renovated. It's being renovated into being a residential building, funny enough. So it's going to be apartments. So yeah, then I walked back here, went around the corner, and we ended up back inside. To which I sat down, and according to Virus, according to Virus, I only got back 5 minutes after they did. So apparently, what happened with them is they had gone on they had went to go get ice cream after getting food, to which they ended up in the wrong train or something, so they ended up getting lost. And then they started walking from a place they were eating at. And after that, they ended up getting lost a bit and ended up having to they took their time. I would have gotten there first had I had just left, like, if I didn't take as many photos. So then the next, so that was the end of day 6, and then I went to bed. Okay, so do I start day 7 or do I like do I wrap up stream for now? What do you think? Should I try and rapid fire the rounds for this? What's your take, Irish? Because I do have to be up early in the morning. Or do I quickly do this and make tomorrow the last parter? Because this one is actually pretty easy. So the next day, I think it's a good chunk for the day of at 3.5. Yeah. See, my thing is that if I was to show, so there's 651 photos in the day 7, but day 7 I can kind of just speed through as much because it's just me looking at certain stuff in the parks. So there's not much to talk about as in that one until we get to like the Empire State Building at the end. So what I'll do tomorrow then is I will get through day 7 and then I will go through day 8 as well, the last day, because that one's gonna take a chunk. I'm gonna try and speed run day 7 a good bit, because day 8 is the New Jersey, and as I've said before, I have 1,700 photos taken on that day. So yeah, I guess we can call it there. Part of me wanted to say, let me start up Uma Musume now, but I have to do that tomorrow. So let me turn off the webcam. Because part of me wants to play that game, but it's like, I don't want to start a new career because I like doing stuff on stream, you know, for that game. So it's kind of like the damned if I do, damned if I don't type thing. I suppose I could do a career of someone I've already done and just speed run it that way. But yeah, but that is the third part of the Opti recap stream. Tomorrow should be the last one. If I finish relatively early, wait, no, 4 more hours. 4 more hours. Okay, I would. Oh, okay. So here's the thing, Soupy. I would do it for 4 more hours, like I did the other day. No, like legitimately. Legitimately, I did the last time I did this. The stream was like 6 or 7 hours. Let me double check. I can check real quick. Yeah. So the last one was about nearly 6 hours. The first one was about almost 5 hours as well. So this was one of the shorter ones. I was just hopping to say hi. Understandable. Hope you've been doing well. Oh, this is from Yakuza 0. It's the fucking sad sub-story music that they played for nearly every like thing. Yeah, no, I've used this music as like my outro music for the past 4 years because I thought it'd be so funny to do it as like a, hey guys, I know it's the end of the stream. It's so sad. It's very chill. It works well. It works as like a bit, and it like works really well for a thing. But yeah, no, I've just been doing the last 2 streams have been me going over each of well, just kind of like my 8 days in New York. Yeah, if you know the context, it makes it even funnier. Yeah, because RGG Studios don't know when not to use that music. Yeah, I was in New York for a week. I did a lot. Did a lot of exploring. There's some places I didn't get to go to, but I can always go another time. Where's my postcard? Oh god. There was trust me, there's things in New York, it's crazy. Like there's a series of like gift shop things called I Heart New York Gifts. I swear to Christ, they own half the real estate in New York. Or like or they're a franchise. There's so many of them everywhere in New York. It's either them or it's like mini storage facilities. New York is full of them. I'm telling you, big storage is the big thing. Just like how Anime NYC for Artist Alley, big photo frame is the one where all the money's going to. They get the really good artist at that convention. Only just for I have to spend money on photo frames, because that's what I gotta do now. I've gotta spend like more money on buying more photo frames because I bought too much art. Which I still, you know what? No, I didn't show it off. I didn't show it off. Hang on. Fuck, I'm gonna forget about it again. This is the second time. Hang on, I'm putting it back on the webcam. Hang on. Never mind. We're bringing it back. I need to show the art, because if I don't do it now, I won't show it at all. Hang on. Give me a minute. Give me a second. Okay. It's out of. Okay. No, legitimately, as I ended stream last time, I was like, wait, I didn't show off the fucking art stuff after I finished the convention, because I was gonna do like, I finished talking about the convention stuff and then I go on to the art. All right, so I bought a bunch of stuff. So first of all, I got like some like I'll start with the small stuff. So first of all, I got like some stuff. This is some Bali Rudolph from like Uma Musume, one of my favorite ones. And I got this other one here. I got this piece. This one was really funny. It's Spider-Man dunking on Venom. Hang on, I'll put it sideways so you can get like the with Miles fucking reacting to him. Spider-Man's getting revenge on that one infamous image of Venom slam dunking Spider-Man. He got revenge. He got his revenge on him. Spider-Man's balling. After that, I found that this one piece. It was just called the artist it's called like Childhood or something like that, or Growing Up. And like honestly, I fuck with the art. It's kind of like very chill. Like, you know, like being an adult, growing up. Then after that, I got a Hatsune Miku one. Funny enough. Cool. That's all. I'll pick them up in a second. All right. After that, I got this one, which is Hatsune Miku saying, "Never kill yourself. You know, keep yourself safe." To which the other one I got was I got this is like based on Animorphs, if you know that book series, but based on Uma Musume, because they're all horses in real life. Yeah, no, that I by the way, I do have a link to all these artists, or most of the artists I did see at the convention. I went when I was going through the convention days. I think it was on the Friday one, the last stream. Last stream I talked about all three of the convention days, and I went and pretty much gathered every one I could remember, or every one that I could get of the artists in particular that I bought from, or I saw on the way. I like jotted down some names, or I took some photographs. Oh yeah, I got some stickers from like one of the places too. This one was pretty funny. So one of the horses is called Measure McQueen. Yeah, so I got this. It's her saying "ka-chow." Another one I got was just Gold Ship that says "horsing around," and she's drop kicking you. After that, I bought some Ace Combat related. Well, there was a guy who did Ace Combat prints, and he also did like some really meme ones. So one of the ones I got was, this one's a serious one. This one's pretty cool. It's of one of the main characters of, well, the antagonist of Ace Combat 7, Mihai. If I put it this way. Then there was, so there's a plane called the F-14 Tomcat. Right? So keep that in mind. Tomcat. So the artist, as a joke, did this to the plane. They added cat ears to it. And they gave it like maid ribbons. Yeah, no. They had a great sense of humor. Then I got this cool photo of like Gold Ship. I like this one a lot too. So the horse, the one on the left is the actual horse. That one's from the gacha game. So yeah, we got that. Other things I got. So I don't know if actually I'm gonna put them all back in the thing now that I got it. So give me 2 seconds because I do have photo frames for most of the small ones at least. I had to get. See, Americans you don't use. So fun fact, Soupy, Americans don't use A4, A3, A5, A1 for like sizes. No, all their like photo or image sizes are in fucking inches. So you'll have like awkward shit like, oh yeah, this is an 11 by 17 inches. Do they use solo cups? God, I wish. So after that, I got a few ones of I don't know if you ever played Zenless. So I got like a keychain of a character called Hoshimi Miyabi. Little keychain. And I got like some art like this. I got a few of her because there was a few Transformer stuff, but I don't think I got many of them. But I like most of the stuff I was looking for certain characters, but I didn't see them unfortunately. Oh yeah, so the Ace Combat person also had this. So this one I like. So in Ace Combat 7, there's a scene where like there's the princess of the Erusia, who's the nation you're fighting against. She shows up on screen and you hear like a dog barking, and when it cuts to her scene, the dog shows up, but the dog is a fucking PNG. They didn't model the dog at all, so they just took a photograph of like the of the thing of like the one of the devs' dog and put him in the game as like a PNG. So that's what that picture there is a reference to. There's some bag ASMR, I guess. Hang on. After the next one, you're gonna laugh at the next one. You're gonna fucking die laughing at the next one. All right, you ready for this? You ready for this? It's Kiryu versus Poe. It's Kiryu versus Poe from the fucking Teletubbies. I'm walking out. It's so good. Pay-per-view, 20th of April. Las Vegas MGM. On the back, I got another one of Miyabi. This is like... Hang on, I'm going to take this one out of the things so it's easier to see. This person made some really good, like, posters for characters that felt like from, like, a movie poster. Oh, yeah, no, it's very pretty. You know what the nice thing as well, Soupy, about me going to the US to buy it? See, the euro is... I'm pretty sure the pound is too. But the euro is stronger than the dollar right now. So a lot of these were cheaper than what I would have paid for. So, for instance, something that was, I say, worth $25 would have been like 19 or 20 euro. So I saved like money, essentially. We stay winning, you know. Right, next one up is... Oh, yeah, this is the card for the Ace Combat person. Next person, this person I think was from Canada? Potentially. Potentially spending less. Actually, I'll save that one for last. I'll do this one next because it's the next poster. What's the heck is this? Oh, yeah, you're gonna love this. You're gonna fucking love this one. Oh, hang on. Miku balling. It's that one fucking... It's that with Godzilla slam dunking on Gojo and Peter Griffin. And then there's like Goku on the left over here. He's just like doing the Prowler theme meme. Oh, and then I got this other cool poster of Miyabi as well. Actually, I'm gonna take this one out of the bag so you can get a better idea. But yeah. And the last bag I have to take out is gonna take a minute because there's like 5 posters in it. Like, if you're curious, I did take names down for most of these artists. So I made them in like my server. I made like in my, what was it, the media share thing. Hang on, give me a second. I can just post them all here right now. Actually, I have a link of all. Actually, I can just send them to you if you want. But I got all of the artists that I've seen so far. I'm gonna keep adding to them. Please do not. I cannot be filing for bankruptcy. That is fair. You know, I should probably. That would have been a better spot for them now that I think about it. Hang on, I'm gonna move them all over there real quick. Yeah, no. For instance, I actually spent the least of my friends, but I spent like $300. About 2 pairs of shoes. Yeah, one of my friends spent $1,000. Soupy. They spent $1,000 in that artist alley. The artist alley was insane. Because I didn't like them first pair, but I can't send them back now. Oof, that's awful. Alright, so the next artist... so actually, I'll start with this piece. So, this piece was neat. The Roy the Art, they made some cool ones. This art was nice. I think they're an Australian artist, I want to say. Let's see. Check. Yeah, Australian. They're an Australian artist. Because they were saying, hey man, you might get charged internet for like conversion fees. And like, man, everything I'm buying is gonna be charged with a conversion fee. I'm paying with euro. It's actually, so it was funny. One of the stalls a friend of mine was buying something from was not working. His card was not working for it properly because the artist was from France. So he was struggling. I was like, hey man, I'll get it for it, and I paid for it. And the guy was just like, why do you have a European debit card? Because I'm from Europe. He's like, huh? So the next one, I got a few here. So I got a few posters from this one. So this one's of Hololive Advent. So I think the 3rd gen of the Hololive English group. What's the question? Pound. It's part of Britain. So it's affected by Brexit. That is true. Fortunately, I've never been there. I got this one. This one was great. So this one's a ReZero one. So you got like Ram, Rem, Amelia, Puck. And what's really cool is the artist telling me about it was so it has a little thing down here about the custom. It has like if you see at the bottom left, it says like the horsepower and the stats of the car. Hang on, I'll put this. Like it says the engine and everything on it. What's also neat is that in Rem's hair, the stars are actually the logo for a Subaru. Okay, and then so one of the main reasons I came to this stall for this artist in particular is that this artist on the second hand thought, let's not go to Northern Ireland. It's just a silly place. So here's the thing. So when I first came to the stall, there was a picture of the one I've shown a few times, that artist, the character I've got, Miyabi, right? How like there was her, they had her, but there's a joke about her being all ears because she's got massive fox ears. Like her character is like 170 centimeters, but like 20 of those centimeters are her fucking ears. So there's jokes about her ears being massive. So they had 2 posters for the sake of it. So they did this, where there's 2 posters making up her fucking ears. One for just her ears, and the other one for fucking the rest of her. So here's the rest of her. So she's doing the fucking Devil May Cry thing with the Monster Energy cannon, the fucking plastic chair, which is the Devil May Cry 5 joke with Virgil. Anyone who ever plays like Virgil in another game, people just say that's just Virgil's kid. But yeah, so they have her ears as well. So I ended up buying both. And they got a discount because I bought the ears with this. They said, yeah, we'll just give it to you in discount. I was like, really? It's like, yeah, they'll give it to me at like instead of paying like $25, it'd be, I pay 10 or 11 for this one. But because I was buying 2 more posters on top, because I was buying 3 posters, you get the 4th one free. So I ended up getting 3. So for the cost of, I think, 50 or 60, I was getting the 4th poster for free. Normally to get that was like 80 or 90, so I got it for nearly $30 cheaper. The art of the deal. as they say. I made away like a bandit. Although I will say, I am down to buy from those artists again. I would buy, yeah, the art of the deal. Yeah, see, hang on, where's fucking Rudolph? There we go. There we go. Thank you, Simbali Rudolph. Very cool. I have her ready for if anyone makes a pun. The reason I like that character so much, besides being very cool in Uma, is that she also makes the stupidest dad jokes all the time. Your stick figure art? Sure. What was I gonna say? I when I was buying this, I will buy from most of these artists again if I could. My main thing, I was trying to find art for a specific character called El Condor Pasa. They're like the wrestler themed horse from Uma, but no one had anything of her. If they did, I'd have bought stuff, but they didn't, and I was so sad. Then I was like, okay, maybe I'll get something for Caesar King, who's another Zenless character I like a lot. Nope, no, nothing. I was fucking fuming because like they only had like, what's it called, keychains and other stuff like that. So I bought those when I could. But no fucking no love for my funny biker lady, which is so sad. So I gotta take the names down of the artists and commission them myself to get the art. You know, that's how we do it. So my friend Lone found like this standee thing of the character. And then I found another keychain of Miyabi and I bought it. And then I ended up buying a keychain of the funny biker lady. Yeah, no. Funny biker lady. But yeah, that's roughly the haul I got. Oh yeah, and then I got this dog at the 9/11 memorial. Based on a rescue dog that was police service dog that was the thing that saved lives but died in the process. Well, yeah, that is the art haul. I can finally say I've talked about it now. Now my next issue is buying the photo frames for them. And then my next issue after that is buying more. Because there was artists I didn't buy from, but I want to. There was a lot of good ones. But yeah, that is me done for today. Now they can say that I finished that up. Close the webcam thing. There we go. Right. What was I gonna do now? Now I can talk tomorrow about the last 2 days of the trip, and I can wrap up the multiple part fucking recap stream, because there's gonna be I fucking knew it'd take 4 parts. I'm gonna come up with a name for tomorrow's one though. Who knows? But yeah, thank y'all for stopping by. I'll catch you folks all tomorrow. I'm probably gonna start earlier. Emphasis on probably. Who knows? But yeah, thank y'all for stopping by. I hope once I get through the recap stuff, we'll be back to playing actual games and doing stuff, because I still need to play both Nier Automata again, and I also need to play what's it called? System Shock, because a friend gave it to me. So yeah, let me. Did I just see someone go live? Did I just see someone I know go live? Let me check. I did. Okay, a friend of mine just went live to play fucking old school RuneScape, I guess. So I guess I could raid them? Should I raid? Yeah, you know, we'll raid. We'll raid, and then I'm gonna go. Do I have time to make food? Take 10 minutes to heat up, then 25 minutes to cook. What do you think? Should I make food now, or should I just go to bed? What's the verdict? Chat, you decide. Do I make some food real quick before I go to bed? What do you think? A yay or a nay would suffice. By food, I mean I'd be putting on an oven and cooking some like chicken tenders. But yeah, thank y'all for stopping by. I'm gonna send you all over to Sammy, who's playing RuneScape, and then I'm gonna go. Food, good. Okay, that's 2 for food. All right, so yeah, unknown. I did it. I showed off the art hall. If you got to see it in time. If not, it's the last like 10 minutes of the stream. I showed off all the art hall I got. Also, we did it. We talked about. Yeah, because I forgot to do it last stream. Yeah, no, check the VOD, but I'll catch you later. Well, I'll catch you over in Sammy's chats. But yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow, folks. We're going to finish off the recap stream. It'll be over. We'll be done.